Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Sorry I've been gone for some days. I haven't been feeling the best, but I'm feeling quite a bit better now. The color correction on this camera feels like it's off. I feel like I'm very orange. What was I gonna say? Oh, so Baja and I did get those COVID test results. They were negative, so whatever we had must have just been like a rhinovirus or a flu or something. I don't know. Either way, we're good. We're feeling much better. Now we're just dealing with the kitty. Cass has been feeling not so great. We had to take her to the vet because she's been having issues with her nose and being able to breathe, and she was doing this so often to her nose that she irritated it and actually scratched like skin off, and it was bleeding, and we had to take her to the emergency vet. She's doing a lot better now. She's in a cone to stop her from, you know, screwing with it. But yeah, she's just been very sleepy and, you know, sitting around. 45% to level 3 of the hype train. Thank you everyone so much. Remember, it's Tinfoil Tuesday, so as we get levels of the hype train, I'll put on different levels of tinfoil. Cone of shame. Yeah, unfortunately. Nick with 45-bit says, I should probably turn the music down, it's a little loud. There we go. Nick with 45-bit says, feeling sick today, going to the doctor tomorrow. I hope that goes well. Yeah, I had to go to the doctor today because I was trying to, oh, sorry, the sub goals not showing. What was I gonna say? Oh, I had to go to the doctor today because I'm seeing a new primary care physician and I had to go talk to them about my meds and stuff. Annie Kai, thanks for 8 months. Krizia, thanks for 17 months at tier 2. Much appreciated. Does CC have a new vid? He does not. Not since the last time we covered him. Broha, thank you for 7 months. Overthought with 50-bit says, we'll have to catch stream replay later, but I see Peter is going to be a topic. I know what I'll need.
One last thing. If you have any drugs or any alcohol, give me some.
Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub to the community. Steve with a Q with 100-bit says, Tinfoil Wednesday, what madness is this? I know, I wanted to do it tomorrow, or yesterday rather, which is the tomorrow of 2 days ago. But wasn't feeling great yesterday either, so I wanted to hold off until today. Smithical Creature, thanks for 14 months. Baja, thanks for 20 months. Bumble Homestead says, OMG, Peter, bless his heart. He's doing his best. 46% to level 5. Lady Necro with 45-bit says, this should have some interesting tinfoil and chud stuff. Let's take a look. Forgotten Monument to Dead Orphans from... Oh no, what is this? Survive the news? Oh god. Well, thank you. I'll save it under tinfoil stuff. Why must this be my curse? Holt the Goblin Tech Wizard, thanks for 20 months, says, we're all happy you're back and eager for some terrible nonsense. I'm glad you're all back too. Thanks for showing up. Bittergrin, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Zarek Shadow 09 with 45-bit says, hey Hannah, hey chat, just wanted to say how proud I am to be part of the forces that took down John Doyle's website. Really excited to see what Peter is up to. In fairness, his website is still up to my knowledge, it's just the store, and I don't know if it's still off. Let's see, hack, off. Kami. His website's still here. Oh, the website's still down, so that's good. Ashy Boo with 14 months says, hi Hannah, 14 months. Wow, my fiance and I are on our way to pick up our new crested gecko, and their name is Granola. They're too young to sex yet, and they're so tiny and cute. Adorable. Sky Comet Fallen, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub. Puka, thanks for 200 bits. Meek says, saw the Petrarch Hanius video. Wow. Which one was that? Nick, thanks for gifting 2 tier 1 subs. Mike with 50 bits says, you look great for a zombie today. We're gonna cover Call's zombie claims. For those who missed the last stream, Call was claiming, because today is the day they were switching on 5G towers in a bunch of cities around the United States. And he was like, the zombie apocalypse is gonna happen. Nothing happened. Surprise. Let's see. Stromboli for Wi-Fi with 14 months says, sup Hannah, I'm 2 time zones away visiting my daughter and I'm happy you can always meet me in the middle. Have a happy stream. I'm gonna have some crawl time with her. Have fun. Procagom, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Sergeant Reckless, thanks for 9 months, says 9 months sub. And Peter, it's my lucky day. Ooh, this stream baby's name is going to be Peter? No, it's Hannah Peters. Look at this madness. Oh no. God damn it. Joey is strong. Thanks for gifting a sub. We're at 275% to level 5, by the way. Thank you, everyone. Sky Comet Fallen says, excuse me, I'm getting my stupidity repelling amulet. I hope it works. Nick with 45 bits says, I bet the people who created Survive the News either would have voted or did vote for Reagan, who literally murdered LGBTQ plus people with his mishandling of the AIDS epidemic. Yeah. Tara the Cat, thanks for 13 months. iMiracle165, thanks for 100 bits. Xenon Eximer, thanks for 500, says, hi Hannah, Happy New Year. Hope you're feeling better. A lot better. Thank you. Happy New Year. Nick says, that's the real reason I'm off work today. Needed to take part in the zombie apocalypse. Puka with 100 says, Jesus is a zombie. Just saying. No, Jesus is a lich. Blackwing Hecate says, my fate went amazingly, and your girl has a girlfriend. Fuck yeah, good for you. Neemsor Kolboth, thanks for gifting a sub. MW1642, thanks for 20 months. Simzoid, thanks for 8 months, says, how do you feel about gummy candy? I'm not a huge fan of gummies. I like chocolate if I'm having any kind of candy, honestly. Lady Necro says, I'm surprised you didn't name that stream baby a call for Peter. Wouldn't have been a bad choice. Alright, so we're all caught up. Let me see if I can fix this camera, just because the color is off. My hair is not this dark. It's dark. It's just not that dark, I don't think. At least it normally isn't on camera. So let me see if I can fix the video capture. If I can find it. Video capture device. Configure video. Let's make it a little less orange, shall we? That's oranger. That's a little better. It's closer. It's a little pale. That's a little blue. What if I just up it a little? What if we auto did it? What does it look like with auto? That flattens it out a little bit. That's fine. We'll do that. That looks a little closer. It's tinted, honestly, a little more in the other direction. Bluish, but it's fine. I just look like I have mercury poisoning, which is honestly my natural state, so. Tonbor says, a Republican guy posted a video challenging Trump to a debate and called Trump a little bitch, then burned his MAGA hat with a flamethrower. I think the site he offered $1 million for the debate. Ooh, we should definitely check that out. Doesn't look like his website's handling the traffic very well. Meek says, if Trump became a paraplegic, would Peter abandon him? That's a good question. For those who don't understand the reference, Peter has expressed a distrust of people in wheelchairs before, because he was once scammed by a man in a wheelchair, and he's very prejudiced, I guess. Nick with 45 bits says, pre-Peter cleanse. Okay. That is a kitty.
You want a snack?
If one of your New Year's goals is to transition your cat to a healthier food,
I'm sharing my top
something to
3
eat?
tips we've used on Makita, Dahlia, and all of our fosters.
You want
You can use these tips for any food, but I'll be using frozen raw cat food from Darwin's.
Okay. Do you want something to eat?
Oh, poor kitty.
You wanna...
So hungry, kitty. Oh, the website's not working. Interesting. Too many people trying to look at it, probably. Hydrate. The video's inaudible. Oh yeah, I had the desktop audio turned down. It was making cute kitty noises. Okay, do we start with Peter or do we start with something else? Let's do something else and give people a little bit of a chance to file in. And then we'll go ahead and move on to Peter. We'll do some short stuff first, okay? How about that? We haven't checked in on Daniel Pratt in a while. He's still in the garage making Flat Earth videos. Tonbor with another link. Patriot Takes link. Oh, here's the video. Nice.
Hey, Donald Trump, this is Daniel McCarthy in Arizona. The world is waking up to your massive grift. Please stop with the smoke and mirrors with these audits. Stop with your fundraising. Stop establishment candidate endorsements. Stop pushing this gene therapy, the sauce. I hear you're coming to Florence, Arizona for another one of your do-nothing rah-rah session rallies. Well, I have an offer for you. I will give $1 million to the charity of your choice if you take 30 minutes of your stage time on January 15th and debate me or answer my questions even in front of your crowd. Think about all the things that you've done that you've not been held accountable for. You ushered in medical tyranny. You exploded our national debt. You relinquished our sovereignty with the USMCA trade deal. You passed more gun laws than Obama did with fixed NICS. You warned about election fraud, but yet you did nothing to prevent it, even after my team, months in advance, warned you after we were stolen from in the Senate primary. You gave up on therapeutics, and you push an experimental gene therapy. People are literally dying.
The vaccines aren't gene therapy.
Because of their trust in you. You enacted the lockdowns, and you surrounded yourself with swamp creatures for 4 years. The January 6th protesters that came down to the Capitol, you set them up. Those people are being treated worse than dogs now, and these are your most loyal supporters. Trump, you failed America. You're the most deceptive president in American history, and trust me, there's been a lot of psyops before. I've posted the terms and...
It's pretty funny seeing MAGA people, because at this point, it's a game of one-upsmanship. All they can do is either be watered-down versions of Trump, or try and outdo Trump. And it's always going to be more impactful to try and outdo Trump. So, I am curious in the primary, if Donald Trump runs, is it just going to be a stage full of people trying to do to him what he did to candidates in 2016, which is just mercilessly, like, shit-talk them on stage and, like, give them, like, weird nicknames and stuff? Because, be clear, in the primary, everyone on stage is going to be trying to get rid of Donald Trump, because he's their main threat. So Donald Trump on stage versus, 10 other Republican potential nominees, they're all going to be going after him, and it'll be hilarious. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be a shit show, but it'll be a shit show that I'll get at least a little bit of entertainment out of.
conditions of my $1
We are doing bingo today, so make sure you get your bingo cards. I got to get my tinfoil stuff on also.
million offer to my website, www.demanddaniel.com. I look forward to seeing you on January 15th, although I know you won't do it because you're a little bitch.
Oh, is he going to shoot a gun? Is he going to shoot a gun? Oh, no, he's going to do the burn thing. Oh, he's got a flame. Okay. That's close. That's gun adjacent.
Trump won't ever talk to me because he knows he can't, because his family's name would be tarnished forever.
As opposed to now, where his name is a sparkling beacon of American exceptionalism. Alrighty, there's one. What were we gonna watch? Oh yeah, I wanted to watch one of the Daniel videos. That was so over dramatic. Yeah, They're kind of out of things to run on policy, so they just gotta be that now. It's messed up. Anyway, we have a whole bunch of bits, messages, and stuff, so let me take a look. Maybe not a whole bunch, but some. Tea with Goblins with 100 bits says, "Good morning, Hannah. You've gone live just in time for me to go stand in a PCR testing line for an hour in the humidity. By the way, did you dye your hair? It looks a little darker than usual." No, it's just the camera, the white balance reset. I gotta fix it. I look bluish in the skin now. It was orange, and now, I don't know. It's all over the place. I gotta screw with the camera settings. Goddess of Anubis says, "Me watching Peter."
You know, guys, it just dawned on me how weird this film is, you know?
Yeah,
It's
really.
just kind of goofy.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I stand some Gamera. G-Blaster says, "Why does he look like he got punched in the eye last week? Is that a black eye?" I don't know. Nick with 45 bits says, "National debt is only bad when Democrats do it." Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up. I'm very behind in the chat. All right, and we're all caught up. All right, let's do this before we do PETA.
It's still amusing after 7 years, I will admit, that these globe priests on YouTube,
Ooh, he isn't sounding too good. Does he have some sort of respiratory illness that he could have been vaccinated against, but he chose not to because he's anti-vax? Zarek Shadow says, "Oh no, Blue Hannah, are you one of those aliens in Peter's stories?" Yes, my cloaking isn't working quite right today.
useful idiots.
Globe priests. He's saying globe priests. He's a flat earther. So flat earth on the bingo card.
Still believe they're not only intellectually superior, but psychologically superior to all us silly flat earthers. Case in point, I had a troll yesterday, I believe, in my comments trying to sway people to Irish Demon's response to my little video where he admits he's an actor, right?
Nick with 45 bits says, "Damn, Daniel back at it again with Flat Earth." Oh my god, that's an old meme.
I haven't watched it, not gonna bother, because I already know what it'll be. It'll be him parodying that, misrepresenting what I'm actually saying, that he's paid by NASA to be out here shilling for them, which is not at all what I'm saying. Once again, I'm saying, fat boy, you are a useful idiot. That is an actor. Your purpose for being out here is to make money, to entertain people.
Look, I know Irish Demon. I've talked to him briefly before because we both covered various Flat Earth people. He seems like a funny guy. I don't know him that well. But yeah, people do YouTube for money sometimes. To my understanding, though, of his situation, I don't believe Irish Demon is making a ton of money on YouTube or anything. I think he recently moved back home to help a parent who was ill or something. So he's definitely not focused mainly on money. I think he just likes making fun of flat earthers, which is understandable. It's fun.
People and make money off of it. Now, any person driven by making money knows the best way to do that is to shill or sell NASA. If you go against...
Wait, the best way to make money is to shill for NASA? NASA, hit me up. I'll be like, yeah, check out the James Webb Space Telescope. It's rad as shit. You don't even have to pay me that much. Like, I'm totally down. That's a little closer, I think. Okay. We'll go with that in terms of color. I changed it a little bit.
...them, you get censored and demonetized. Therefore, when your goal is to make money, it doesn't make much sense to go against NASA.
You don't get banned for just saying, like, the Earth is flat. Don't get me wrong. You're wrong. The Earth is not flat, but you don't get banned just for that. Usually you get banned for stuff like medical misinformation, stuff like that. G-Blaster says, this guy is driven by making money. You can tell by his haircut. Spongy Lord says, got my COVID booster today. Woman was getting a booster for all 6 of her kids. I wanted to cheer for her. Good. Good.
So, in order to entertain other God-hating NASA fanboys, you will pick the easiest target and will say anything in
So you're admitting you're the easiest target. Interesting.
support of NASA because you're about entertaining people for money, because you're an actor.
No? Well, I don't know if Irish Demon actually has a history of being like an actor. I don't know if he's done, you know, stuff as an actor, but being a YouTuber doesn't inherently make you an actor, and being an actor doesn't make you wrong or mean that everything you ever say is a lie just because you have acted in things. What? There's nothing wrong with entertaining people, especially while you're trying to educate them. It's kind of key. If people are bored, they're not going to internalize knowledge very well. They're not going to pay attention. That's why I wear stupid foil suits while we do this. Also, I like the way it makes me feel. Tube-Man with 50 bits says, why do all these guys think NASA has so much money? Aren't they the least funded government sector? It's much less than you would think. Like, if you were looking at things in terms of the US budget that are ridiculous, you'd look at the military budget, not NASA. No.
See how that works? It's pretty simple. It's not anything but psychology and economics 101. Of course, we know that's what you are. That's what you do. You don't have to be directly paid or supervised by NASA to shill for NASA.
He's not shilling for NASA. He's just pointing out that flat Earth arguments are fallacious, which they are. The Earth isn't flat.
Genius. I've also had people in my comments saying, how do you think you expose Craig McNeil? He proudly owns that he's a God-hating heathen. Okay, and that's been my point all along. His hatred for God drives his entire channel, along with his...
I'm guessing it's a guy who's an atheist or something openly on stream, and he's mad about that and thinks that means he's biased. Everyone is a bias, but being non-religious isn't more of a bias than being religious. They're just different kinds of biases in the way you discuss religion. What?
his love of money.
And also, being atheist doesn't mean you hate God. It means you don't think God exists. G-Blaster says, DARPA is like halfway in between NASA and the military. Like, hey, cool technology. How can we make it kill poor foreigners? Yeah. God bless America.
So,
I'm looking for my other set, because on this hand I kind of like this, but on this hand, because of the watch, I kind of like the shorter glove.
He is the prime example of someone that will vehemently deny scientific facts in exchange for scientific...
El Monado says, I believe you, Hannah, but you're biased against the Bible. True. Might be because I've read it.
Preachings for entertainment purposes to make money, because he believes he will pay no consequence for it. I would once again, for love of my enemy, suggest he wake up and repent and stop being used by Lucifer.
Sounds like you love your enemy very much. I love you so much. Do what God says or he'll burn you!
The false bearer of light that drives his greed and hatred of Christ. It's that very same Lucifer driving all of the agendas that are driving this world to hell in a handbasket as I speak. If you'd like to have a better idea of what it's all about, I would suggest you look at my previous video with the science fiction fans cards in the thumbnail and go to the link in the pinned comment. God bless. Have a good one.
What a weirdo. Alright, I think we have enough people in at this point that we can do Peter's video. Tea with Goblins with 100 bits says, raise his pervy little Satanist hand. Hello, can I volunteer to get used by Lucifer, please? Bonk. Very bonk. Oh, Rin's here. Good. Good timing. I don't know if you just showed up. I guess I don't remember if I saw you in the chat earlier. Good timing, though. Peter. Why? P-Meal with 200 bits says, you look amazing today, Hannah. Also, I think you mentioned a way to support you without helping out Jeff Bezos. What was it? That would be my PayPal. I have a PayPal. There should be a link under the stream somewhere. Or I think you can put !donate in the chat, and a link to my PayPal link will show up if you're so inclined. Someone actually tipped me earlier today, and they were just saying, like, I actually saw the message when I logged in here, and it was like, hey, I'm not going to say who it is in case they don't want to say, but basically they knew I was sick, and they gave me money because they knew I don't get, like, paid sick leave or anything for my job, so that was very nice. Thank you, person who did that. That was very kind of you. Blackwing Hecate with 50 bits. Bonk guillotine. Nice. You saw Hannah leg? I'm literally wearing sweatpants. Is this video pre-announcement or post-announcement? What announcement? Guess that depends on what you mean. Anyway, let's do this. Alright, so our favorite QAnon conspiracy theorist, Peter, is back at it. We haven't seen or heard from him in about 2 weeks, and I was curious why, and that lines up basically exactly when Donald Trump came out, once again when he was having a event with Bill O'Reilly that they were speaking at, and once again he came out and spoke kindly of the vaccines, telling his fans, telling his audience, hey, I've been vaccinated, I got the booster, please go ahead and get it. Some people booed him. The QAnon sphere freaked out because, of course, they're like all anti-vax, like crazy people who are uninformed or have been misled about the vaccines, which are great, by the way. If you haven't been vaccinated for COVID and you can, please go do it. Get your booster if you haven't already. Anyway, the QAnon people are freaking out and trying to come up with all sorts of justifications for why Donald Trump said, get vaccinated. Peter, not having a great time. The justifications Peter has in this video trying to explain why Donald Trump is saying something that he vehemently disagrees with literally amounts to, guys, it's opposite day. Donald Trump literally just means the opposite of what he said. So let's see Peter talk for like 23 minutes on why he thinks Donald Trump is just playing a game of I meant the opposite of what I said. Yeah.
Welcome back, Patriots. It's your optimistic Trump supporter here, and I know a lot of you have been wondering if Trump's goal is to win this war with the least amount of collateral damage as possible. Why in the world would he...
Least amount of collateral damage. Not zero collateral damage, the least amount. Very, very important.
Doing specific chess moves that are causing a bunch of collateral damage to civilians. He is promoting vaccines in a way full of lies.
Bingo card check before we get too far into Peter's video. Just Flat Earth. Flat Earth was the only thing we had so far.
That is damaging up to millions of people's lives. Why would he do this? Well, if he didn't, something much worse would happen. What? Well, I'll explain that in this video. In other words, just because Trump is pushing vaccines and lying about them, and it is harming possibly millions of people's lives, that doesn't mean what you think it means. There's something else going on here. He's
Don't believe what he says, believe what I tell you what he says means. Obviously, Donald Trump intended to speak to an audience of his fans and followers, and then have them come to my, Peter Hanna's YouTube channel, who only has 4,000 subscribers or something, so that it can be interpreted. That's much easier than just saying what you mean.
protecting us from...
Recording in the car first? Sure. On the bingo card, recording in the car.
a greater danger. So that's something I really want to address in this video, because I think a lot of people are attacking Trump, and I don't like that, because I think that if you look at the bigger picture, you understand exactly why Trump is doing this. So we dive right into it. Definitely smash that subscribe button on my Rumble account and also my YouTube account, which is in the description below. I'm the optimistic Trump supporter there, and I really appreciate your support. So let's dive right into it. So let's start out with the 4 most likely reasons that Trump would promote these COVID vaccines at all.
Number 1, the vaccines are safe and effective, and even Donald Trump, who is one of the, if not the dumbest person to ever hold the office of the President of the United States, even he understands that. That'd be reason number 1.
Let's go through real quick, because I have a lot.
Did he get faster? Oh yeah, Peter is like manic in this. He like talks really fast and gets going like this, and he gets just to talking to me. It's like he doesn't even know where his sentences are going to end when he starts the sentences. He just knows he has to keep talking about this because he's got to keep his audience engaged. He's got to convince them that Trump is still, you know, a good guy, and he's helping everyone, and he's saving everyone from the aliens. He's going to get the med beds, you know. He gets absolutely fucking crazy in this. By the way, if Micro Machines would like a new spokesperson, hit me up. Nick with 45-bit says, don't believe what he says, believe what I say he means. Sounds like Christianity.
To cover. First of all, the first possible explanation is that maybe he's not a good person, and maybe he tricked us, and that's why he's pushing these poison shots.
They're not poison. They're good. Get them. They will train your body, they will train your immune system, and prepare it for infection in case you do. That way, if you are exposed to COVID, you either will not contract it, or if you have a breakthrough case, unfortunately, but good news, you'll have a much severe version if you have a breakthrough case, because your body's already gone through the training of dealing with it because of the vaccine. Vaccines are one of the greatest inventions human beings have ever created, like, flat out. Not even my opinion, it's just objective reality. Please get vaccinated. Do not listen to Peter. He was literally raised in a cult. Umatsa with 100-bit says, so I usually lurk, but my parents just said that they think my sister's miscarriage was caused by her getting the vaccine, and I'm feeling a level of rage I didn't know was possible, so have some bits. Oh my god. That's... your parents are the worst. No offense. Your parents are the worst.
I think that's unlikely, because he's already proven that he is an extremely heroic person, and I trust him 100%, so...
Peter, how has Donald Trump proven to you that he is an extremely heroic person, question mark?
Oh, let's throw that theory out the window. Next theory. Well, maybe he is pushing the vaccines because they work. Wrong again. There's
We did it! Peter just disproved the entire body of research the entire medical community has done on the vaccines, up to and including just like looking at an intensive care unit and seeing the vaccine status of the people within it suffering from COVID. Fuck that. Peter said no, so no, it's just not true. Isn't it nice that reality just conforms to whatever you say? It'd be really inconvenient if that wasn't the case. Mystical Millennial, thanks for 2 months, says, love the channel. Hannah Banana, thank you. Eris de Bear, thank you for subscribing at tier 1. Thanks for the new sub, I appreciate it.
Mountains of evidence that they don't work, and they're damaging a lot of people, and they're killing possibly millions of people so far, so that gets thrown out the window.
Peter, literally billions and billions and billions of people have taken the vaccine. If a large portion of people who had taken the vaccine were dropping dead, we all would have noticed. The streets would be littered with bodies, like that thing from Monty Python, where they're like, bring out your dead. He's not dead, blah, 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 blah. You know the bit. Peter, no. No. Stop reading conspiracy theories on greatawakening.win, deplorable 333. Yeah, Peter's got an account on there where he posted about me, so that's fun.
Window. Another argument you can make is that he's unaware. This is the argument that...
Oh, speaking of which, I guess I should point this out. This is funny. This isn't a dox, by the way, because he's talked about his account before. And he was talking about the fact that he posted about me and stuff, so. I am not doxing him. He talked about his own account. But anyway, I posted about this on Twitter, and since we're already talking about Peter, I guess I should. Let me show you what he posted. Let me go to Twitter real quick. And show you what I tweeted. It's around here somewhere. Here we go. Alright, so here's what Peter posted on greatawakening.win. Quote, my unvaccinated family members were spreading their spike proteins too much. Anyone else get sick from vaccinated people this holiday season? That's not how anything works. You can't shed spike proteins if you're vaccinated. That's not how that works. Zarek Shadow says, do you think Peter knew who Donald Trump was before the 2016 election? Was he a big Apprentice guy? Did his cult stay at the Trump Hotel property? I just want to know how he first found out about Trump and why he grew to have such an unshakable faith in him. Good question. I don't know. Vaccine shedding on the bingo card? Yes. Anyway, he says, my brother and sister joined my family and parents for Christmas. Naturally, everyone was at peak health, except my vaccinated siblings, who were pretty sick from their triple vaccine decision. I'm calling bullshit on that. They were embarrassed that they were vaccinated and sick, and we were unvaccinated and healthy. It was pretty funny until they left. And now my girls are pretty sick, and I feel like I got hit with a truck. Pains everywhere, massive headache, sore throat, cold, etc. I'm just wondering if other people out there also graciously spent the holidays with the vaccinated super spreaders only to end up sick from all their spike protein shedding. It's possible I got sick from somebody else, but it's unlikely because I only spent time with 2 sick people this month. My siblings. Nick says, CPS, open up. Oh, you think that's bad? In the comments, someone told him to buy ivermectin and give it to his family, and he asked, where can I legally get ivermectin? Yeah. So that's what Peter's up to, potentially dealing with actually catching COVID, or at least some sort of disease, and he's potentially giving his kids fucking ivermectin. So, cool. Probably Lannister says, Peter posted about you? I thought you were his favorite Democrat. Democrat.
Candace Owens made recently when he made a
Bad parenting on the bingo card? You betcha. We'll go over the bingo card once we're done, but yes.
lot of vaccine statements on this interview with her. She had to defend him and say like, oh, well, he said he got the booster shot and he was promoting vaccines and saying all this stuff because he's old, he doesn't know much about vaccines. Also wrong. Trump is a genius and there is a team of geniuses working with Trump. So this theory is absolutely ridiculous. To say that Trump would push vaccines because he's not...
Not only is Donald Trump a genius, he is the head of a cabal of geniuses, okay? It's like the Justice League of geniuses. It's like the Justice League, but they're all Batman.
Aware of the damage is beyond me. Like, I can't even process how badly that doesn't make any sense at all. Trump is a genius. There's a team of genius behind him, and every chess move he does is a strategic move. So what is the most likely scenario of those 4? I have to tell you the 4th one. The 4th one is optics, and it's that one. That is the most likely scenario, and I'll tell you why. Because we looked at the...
Can I give your bingo win to Spokane Cisco? Yep, let me check the bingo status thing and cross your name off. Sorry, just give me 1 second. File, recent, bingo winners. PK the Lost. Yep, you do indeed have a bingo win. Okay, and give it to Spokane Cisco. Gifting. Okay, that should be going through.
The 4 possible scenarios, and of the 4, 3 are basically impossible. No way that he is a bad person. There's
no way Donald Trump is a bad person in Peter's opinion. 0 chance. The fact that his first wife, one of the reasons she left him, was over, quote, marital rape. Don't worry, he's a great guy. Let's not even mention the other sexual assault allegations that have been made against the man. Let's not mention the fact that he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein and wished Ghislaine Maxwell well after she had been arrested. Don't worry about that. It's fine. He's a good guy. Bittergrin, thanks for gifting a sub.
There's no way that he's not educated, and there's no way that they work.
He's just listing every potential wreath. So he believes Donald Trump is a genius and majorly ethical, and that vaccines don't work. Is it possible to have every single wrong opinion at once? Hydrate.
So that leaves only one option. He's pushing the vaccines and saying all these positive comments about them, even
You're 2 people away from knowing Epstein? Canceled.
lying about them, endangering
That is weird, though. Who do you know who knew Jeffrey Epstein? And do you trust them?
people's lives, his
Because maybe don't.
own supporters for optics. So then another question becomes, well, get into the deals of the optics. Why is it so important that he's pro-vaccine? Why is it so important that he's seen as pro-vaccine? And that is a big question, and I have all the details and answers for that, and it's super duper interesting. So let me split this whole argument up into 2 different questions. First question is, why did he create the vaccines under his administration, even though he's been very vocal about being...
To be clear, Donald Trump did not create the vaccines. The US government did, basically to my understanding, promising to buy X number of vaccines once they were actually completed, which they did. They also, I think, put some money into the research, but I think the first COVID vaccines were developed in Germany by a company, by, of course, scientists working for a company in Germany. Don't remember exactly, though. Don't quote me on that. Probably a Lannister says, I am 3 to 4 people away from knowing Casey Anthony. Weird. Yeah. Altered Rin says, my mom knew the guy through her job who was in his cellmate that almost killed him. Oh. Huh.
being anti-vax. 2, why would he promote them, even lie about them to the extent where his chess move is actually damaging a lot of supporters, even his own supporters? That doesn't make any sense. Well, until you understand why he's doing it. So the first question is pretty easy to answer. There's 2 general reasons why he did it under his administration, and the first one is that it is the quickest way to exit the pandemic, and the pandemic's goal.
Peter, the quickest way to exit the pandemic is to get vaccinated and have everyone get vaccinated. Yeah. Pixels Falling with 100 bits says the only explanation for Peter's brain.
That's a side effect of the marijuana poisoning.
I do love Hank.
Goal was to crash the economy in a really damaging way that
Pfizer was not part of Warp Speed, yes. Okay, cool.
we won't be able to recover. So it's very important that the vaccines came out quickly. He's pointed out that originally the vaccines were going to take 5 to 12 years, and at that point, everyone would be desperate to get them, and there'd be socialism everywhere, and the economies would be absolutely...
There'd be socialism everywhere. I'd love for Peter to explain that one to me. Peter, what do you think socialism is? And how would it be everywhere after 5 years of not having a vaccine? Explain those 2 thoughts that are disparate from each other and how they connect.
Demolished. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2 is because in the way that they were rushed, they weren't able to get FDA approval, and because of that, and I know they're claiming FDA approval and mandating it and say that's legal. It's completely illegal.
What? What do you mean they're claiming FDA approval? At least one of them I know has full FDA approval. I guess I'm not sure if the other one got full FDA approval at this point. Someone could let me know in chat. I'm sure someone could Google it or already knows. But one of them got full FDA approval, and they're just waiting to release it under its new name. But it is literally the same medication that does the same thing. It has been fully approved, Peter. And the other ones, if there are any that don't have full approval at this point, they're still under emergency use approval. So, they're still approved, just for emergency use. That's not how science works? Yeah, the emergency approval is still through the FDA. They still do the same testing, they just go through the process quicker, basically, for emergency approval. At least as far as I understand the process, which is, you know, layperson levels, just to be clear. Thought most of them had full approval? Again, they might. I only know of the one that definitely got full approval, because by that point I had already been vaccinated. It's not something I paid a ton of attention to. Jamie Lynn 46, thanks for 8 months, says, "Hi, I'm getting close to having this child out of me. I can't wait until we name this loved child of ours. I have to pee all the time. They won't get off my bladder. Ooh, ooh." What constitutes the line between Chudwatch and Tinfoil Tuesday thins? It seems like that'd basically be a free space. You're not wrong. I think it more has to do usually if someone... I don't know if I'd count this, because this is absolutely Tinfoil Tuesday. Like, this is conspiracy. But if someone starts to bring, like, MGTOW talking points or trad wife shit into it, I'd consider it closer to that space.
Don't believe
It skips a lot of the bureaucracy of the approvals. Thank you.
it. And it'd say it's FDA approved, but it's not. Trump made sure it would not be FDA approved.
No, it got FDA approved, Peter. We can look it up right now. FDA approved COVID vaccines. Or sorry, whatever. Let's see. FDA approves first COVID-19 vaccine. This was back in August. The first one was fully approved. So I don't know about the other one. The other big one. The Pfizer and the Moderna, I know, are the big ones.
So because these
At
are
least in
not
the
FDA
States.
approved, you can't legally mandate. So this gives
Is 5D supposed to read 5G? No. 5D and 5G are different conspiracy things.
anyone who doesn't want to get a vaccine a legal out to protect themselves from the damaging vaccine. See?
Peter, they're not damaging. Trump has literally been vaccinated and boosted. Get vaccinated. Felix Night Owl says, "I saw a TikTok yesterday that said libs shouldn't mind a Congress full of men legislating abortion laws, though men don't have uteruses since they allow men to be women without uteruses. TikTok is getting crazy right-wing. I really want to slap these people. Jesus Christ."
See? He's trying to protect us from the vaccine that he created.
Hydrate.
Mind blown, huh? So let's dive into this second
Hey, Peter, have you considered that makes 0 sense in terms of a narrative? Yes, we'll do a bingo check after this.
question. And the second question is, why in the world would he be promoting vaccines and lying about them and damaging people? I have the answer for you. So this is why Trump has been promoting the vaccines and lying about them. And this is very important to know. This is a big chess move, counter move to the deep state's move. Now, when Trump ran for president, he was very anti-vax. And so
he was definitely running, and he'd said multiple things that were bullshit. He was basically vice signaling to anti-vaxxers. He never fully came out and said, like, I don't think vaccines are safe. But he said things along the lines of, I don't know, maybe the vaccine schedule should be further spaced apart. But to my knowledge, at no point did he come out and outright say, I do not like vaccines. I think he basically dog-whistled at anti-vax, vaccine hesitancy talking points.
deep state counted on him being anti-vax. And what their original plan was, I assume, based on all the information I collected, is that they are going to vilify Trump supporters and Trump and say they're all terrorists, and the way they're going to do this is say that the pandemic is the biggest problem, it's killing lots of people. And
I mean, it is. Let me see. COVID deaths in U.S. What are we up to? Every day, it's higher. 829,000 deaths. We're almost at 1 million. USA. USA. It's not funny. It's really fucked up. Everyone get vaccinated, boosted, and seriously, take shit seriously. Still social distance. Still wear masks. Omicron's out here fucking people up. The spread is crazy. It is so spreadable. Clauva Faustna, thanks for 11 months, says, started my new job. Great job as always. We love watching you when we can. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you were able to get that. Audis Noir says, I'm tired of the focus on male anti-abortion legislators when there are plenty of women willing to throw other women under the bus for their own personal gain and or punishment of other women for not conforming to their own ideals. I get what you're saying, but also a majority of them are men, so... Nick with 45 bits says, spreadable and edible like butter. God.
And these anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers are basically terrorists because they're spreading disease.
Today on BitChute, Alex Jones told his audience that January 6th was overseen by federal commandos. That's not shocking to me. He's about to get screwed over by those court cases he just lost.
Refusing to comply. And Trump, with all his anti-vax statements, is the leader. So now they can go after Trump. They can go after all the supporters. They can rile up.
Peter, I don't know how to break this to you, but Trump has said previous things about vaccines that were positive. Silva, thank you for following. Like, I don't like Donald Trump, but he has said multiple times to his audience, hey, get vaccinated, it's good, because he wants to take credit for the vaccines because of Operation Warp Speed. But his audience are so virulently anti-vax, and just virulent in general, I guess, because of the former. They are twisting it. They're twisting it, and they're not giving him the satisfaction of saying, like, I did this, because people boo at him whenever he tries to take credit for it. It's so funny. HBaird with 45-bit says, Omicron is showing a doubling time of less than 3 days. At this rate, by the end of February, every person in the US will be infected. Please, everyone, take it seriously. If you haven't gotten a booster yet, schedule it, please.
Round us up, and just, throw us in concentration camps, and then we die of COVID. So this was an excuse.
What are you talking about, Peter? You don't even believe in COVID. What do you mean?
Just to kill Trump, kill his...
No one's gonna put you in a camp, you weirdo.
...family, kill a bunch of conservatives, and then they can easily win elections once the conservatives are dead, right? So...
Peter, we can easily win elections now if we didn't have fucking, gerrymandering and the Electoral College. There are fewer Republicans.
How does Trump counter this? Well, I pointed out, their plan was for Trump to say very anti-vax statements and to be 100% against the vaccines the whole time. But he tricked them. Now, they did have a very intelligent counter-move to his counter-move, and I'll explain that in a second. But first, let me explain Trump's counter-move. So they intended on him being very anti-vax. He ended up being extremely pro-vax. Now, not as pro-vax as Joe Biden, but pro-vax enough that they can no longer use that plan of, vilifying all of us as terrorists because we're...
What are you talking about? No one is calling anti-vaxxers, or at least no one that I've seen, or it's not a major narrative that anti-vaxxers are, air quote, terrorists. You're just assholes. You're absolutely selfish, uninformed rubes who are hurting yourselves, your families, and other people. Fuck you. Fuck you. But no, I've not seen anyone call you terrorists. What are you talking about? And even if they were, that wouldn't be hinged upon Donald Trump directly telling you something. Sky Comet Fallen says, don't tell Trump not to alienate his supporters. Never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. I know. Believe it or not, I don't think Donald Trump watches my show. Nick with 45-bit says, a lot of anti-vaxxers are called terrorists, but because of other things. The Venn diagram is just a big circle. Well, that's because of, the terrorism.
Anti-vax. And so that is crucial, and I have a lot of evidence to support that. Trump left us clues. When Trump talks about the vaccines, he literally said specific statements for people like me to decode and tell you guys.
Peter is Trump's special little boy who Trump sends secret messages to through his words that the other people are too stupid to understand. But Peter's big galaxy brain is here to translate it for Daddy Trump. Does he hear himself? Come on, Peter. Really? Logarth the 50-bit says, speaking of terrorism, y'all ready for tomorrow? I don't think anything will happen tomorrow. Trump already canceled. Trump was supposed to have a press conference tomorrow about something. I don't know what. He canceled it. I don't think anything will happen tomorrow. Mystical Millennial says, if Trump doesn't watch Hannah Reloaded, I feel sad for him.
Why he had to say these statements about COVID vaccines, even though he knows they're lies, even though he knows they are damaging people. So what's clue number one? So the first thing he said that was a very big clue is 3 or 4 times when talking about the vaccine, he's mentioned that it saved tens of millions of lives.
We did something that was historic. We saved tens of millions of lives worldwide.
And so I believe...
Peter, he's saying that because the vaccine is effective. He's saying the vaccine, which people took, saved them from catching or getting severe versions of COVID that would have killed them. He's literally saying what he means, Peter. This is like the one time Trump is saying what he means, and he thinks this is the thing where he's not saying what he means. TubeMan642 says, hey Peter, I live in Florida, and my mom, who's fully vaccinated and a teacher, caught COVID a few days ago, and she's been following all the guidelines, except she keeps going to church, and there was an outbreak at her church. A lot of the people there legitimately thought God would protect them, and it pisses me off that people who have the same brain rot as Peter got my mom sick. MH Darkbeast says, Peter translating Trump's secret transmissions. Drink more Ovaltine. That gets me too. They should probably read up on the Black Death. Like, people during the Black Death, during the plague, they were all Christians. God didn't protect shit. Get vaccinated.
Even when he says this. So the only scenario that I can think of that makes a lot of sense that would explain how damaging people with vaccines can save a lot of lives. He even said up to 100 million people could have died. Well, that completely aligns with my theory that he was being pro-vaccine to protect us and protect the movement, so we're not...
Do we need to add a "this isn't a dog whistle, Peter" space on the bingo card? It's pretty funny.
Labeled as anti-vaxxers or anti-maskers, and we're...
You are literally both of those things, Peter. You don't like masks and you don't like vaccines. What do you think words mean?
We're terrorists, and then we're round up, and then, you know, to round us up as terrorists and treat us as terrorists, there has to be...
Peter, I don't want you going in large groups of anyone. Why do you think I'd want to put you in a camp with a bunch of other unvaccinated people? You literally shoot out like a new variant every 5 minutes. Mystical Millennial says, reminds me of the I trust my immune system anti-vaxxers. Like, historically speaking, that is a terrible idea. I don't know if you guys know this. Every person who has ever died of a disease had an immune system. There's no such thing as just trusting your immune system and having that be a good idea. Tea with Goblin says, Omicron is particularly horrifying. Here in South Wales, we went from only 1,000 or so to more than 30,000 cases a day in less than a month. And we had about 96% of eligible adults fully vaxxed. And now the anti-vaxxers have teamed up with the sovereign citizens to try and take on the government. Send help. Why is everyone I cover on stream now in cahoots? It's like the Legion of Doom, but stupider.
Some level
New South Wales, sorry.
of public support. And if Trump is going around saying, oh, take the vaccine, it's great and great, and the Democrats are hearing this, there is no public support. We are not looking like terrorists. So he's protecting us from being rounded up and thrown in concentration camps. A lot of people expected this. In fact, there was even chatter among Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi about rounding up conservatives, including Trump, labeling them as terrorists, and executing us.
Source? Source? Question mark, exclamation point, question mark? What? Peter, where do you think you are getting this information from? Are the aliens whispering it to you at night? Because they're not a reliable source. I don't know if you know this.
But it never happened, because Trump kept on countering. He kept on being, whenever they went for this push to vilify us and be like, oh, we're terrorists, he would counter, be like, oh, we're very pro-vax, yeah.
Meek with 45-bit says he's getting this from his own personal desires, right? It's very strange. Also, Peter, if people were like authoritarian fascist enough in order to want to round people up into camps, do you think there is any optical move that you could make that would stop that group from doing so? Because that's not really how it works. Pixels Falling with 100 bits. With a link.
Horse's ass.
It just makes it sound like Peter's his thought process as, wow, European
Take your
Jews during
vaccine.
World War II really just needed a better PR team. Like, no, fuck you, Peter. That's not how anything works. Zero V Streaming says, I just came in. What Metal Gear Solid plot is Peter making up this time? Really, really stupid one. Sky Comet Fallen says, source equals his asshole. Where his poop comes from. References.
So it was an excellent counter. And so I believe him when he says it saved millions of lives. Yeah, because it aligns with my theory perfectly. And I know that his goal is to win with the least amount of collateral damage as possible. So he's been very clear. This was the lesser of two evils. So that was a very big clue there.
Peter, he's been very clear. It's good to get vaccinated. Your Daddy Trump, has told you to get vaccinated. So go and do what Daddy says. Get fucking vaccinated, Peter. Get your kids vaccinated as well.
He's like, guys, this did save millions of lives. No matter what you think, it did save millions of lives. And I believe. So this is another very big clue. Trump said you're playing into the hands when you're like, oh.
I'm pretty sure Peter owes me a fucking crown, by the way. That bastard.
Oh, the vaccine, blah, 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 blah. So the mainstream media took this statement and said, oh, if you doubt the vaccine, Trump says if you doubt the vaccine, you're playing into their hands. You must get the vaccine.
That would be good. Please do.
Or else you're playing into their hands by not getting the vaccine. Trump didn't say that. When Trump said...
What's my favorite Pokemon? Eevee.
You're playing to their hands when you're like, oh, the vaccine. What he was saying is when...
But what does Daddy Sume think? Probably something lewd, if I had to guess.
We are saying, and we're all collectively saying, including Trump, like, oh, the vaccine is bad, the vaccine is bad, the vaccine is bad. That would be playing into the cabal's plans. That's what he was talking about. Let me show you the clip right here.
You're playing right into their hands when you sort of like, oh, the vaccine.
So as you can see, he said, you're playing to the hands when you're like, oh, the vaccine.
Peter, he is literally talking about you. He is saying you are making him look bad. And you are, which I find funny, so I guess continue. Blackwing Hecate says, the people you cover.
Brainiac, what is it? Look, I just want some pants. A decent pair of pants. Solomon Grundy want pants too.
What the fuck? Zarek Shadow with 45-bit says, Peter's poop comes out of my butthole thing never fails to make me laugh. Hell, I was just thinking about it the other day, and I started laughing so hard I let out a fart, and then my cat got scared and started doing a mad dash back and forth across the house. Very vivid. Pixels Falling with 100-bit says, is Peter's wife in the same cult? Cause this is the future I see for him. Yeah, she is.
I'm having fun.
Your wife divorced you.
I interpret that as if he and all the conservatives in unison, from the start was like, vaccine bad, vaccine bad, vaccine bad. That is what the deep state planned on us doing. They planned on us doing.
No, Peter, it turns out Republicans are just really stupid and short-sighted, and now their followers their voters are dying, and, that's not really good for business.
And so we would have played right into their hands, and Trump threw them for a loop. So that was a very, very interesting part of, researching, because I really liked when I heard it. I was like, playing into your hands. Oh, I see that clue. Thank you, Trump. Reason number 3. So this clue was also subtle, but super duper interesting. He not only has been pro-vaccine, but he's been trying to downplay how anti-vax the conservative movement. I mean, everyone knows the conservative movement is very anti-vax because we're very smart. Of course we're going to be anti-vax.
This is a problem that'll solve itself. Citosaurus says, what is this research he speaks of? Taking a massive bong rip and staring at the ceiling for 2 hours? Hey, that can be research, goddammit.
And what's interesting...
Yeah, Hannah's exasperated space. That's fine. I'm turning red. Yeah, I am.
is that he downplays it in this clip. Check out this clip.
Both the president and I are vaxxed, and did you get the booster?
Yes.
I got it too. Okay, so...
Don't. No. That's all. There's a very tiny group over there.
Again, does Trump know how anti-vax his base is? Have his aides told him? Because every time this comes up, it seems like he doesn't understand that a large part of his audience is anti-vax, and frankly, I'm glad, because I don't want him to start coming out being outright like, don't take it. That'd be terrible. TubeMan with 50 bits says, oh god, I just realized that these anti-vaxxers think that the plot of Metal Gear Solid 5 is happening for real, where a splinter cell of the secret world government is trying to kill off all English-speaking people in the world using a genetically engineered super parasite that attacks your vocal cords and lungs if you speak English. Genus Kojumbol. That doesn't make any sense. How would that even work? I don't understand why people think Kojima's a really good writer, because everything he writes sounds like it comes out of a Neil Breen movie. I just think he has a budget. M. Scheffler, 720, thanks for 9 months, says, great. I finally have a sub baby and Peter is on. It can't get any better. 9 months. That's a stream baby. This baby's name is going to be Dr. Eric von Klaus. Dr. Eric von Klaus.
So he says he got the
Hydrate
booster, and the crowd is like, boo, because they don't understand why it'd be promoted.
For the record, I like Death Stranding. I really do. I've liked plenty of Kojima's games. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying, boy, are they fucking weird.
Putting a dangerous poison shot, right? And he says, oh, that's just a tiny group over there in the back. So do you see how publicly...
they were shouting, booster, booster. Death Stranding is bad. You're bad. No, no. Death Stranding is a really great atmospheric game, and I will stand by that. Is it the funnest game to play? It's not the most action-y game, but Death Stranding is good. I enjoy Death Stranding a lot. I got the remastered version. We're not here to talk about video games, though.
Not only is he pro-vaccine, but he is down...
But your opinion is wrong.
Playing how many anti-vaxxers there are, because he knows that if we are all labeled as anti-vaxxers from the start, we would have been declared the terrorists, we would have been rounded up and put in concentration camps.
Peter, no one's putting anyone in concentration camps for this shit. Just stop being anti-vax, it'd be great. You're really hurting people, including your family. M. Scheffler says, Klaus is a family name on my dad's side, what a coincidence. Or do lizard people know that kind of stuff? Oh, we know that kind of stuff.
And died.
I can't time you out anymore. Wanna bet, bitch? Hold on. Do. Boop.
Of COVID. So this is, not only is he being pro-vaccine, he is trying to protect our reputation. He's trying to protect us from, you know, the government and Joe Biden and all these people rounding everyone up and getting public support to
Let's see when hold on, I'm gonna time you out. Let's see when I'll let you back in. Why did I do that? I'm mean.
To deal with the terrorists. He's protecting us from that scenario. And it's very interesting how he downplays how many anti-vaxxers in the audience. That is a big tell right there. The last really big clue that I saw that Trump is, in fact, not pushing the vaccine.
I know, he did call me a mean name.
Is what he says around the topic of vaccines.
We got a vaccine done, 3 vaccines done, and tremendous therapeutics.
You compare it to Joe Biden. Joe Biden is pushing the vaccines. Trump...
Yeah, you should get vaccinated, Peter, because again, the whole, like, thing we're dealing with right now would be over if everyone would just get vaccinated and we just chill out for a little bit and stop worrying about multi-billion-dollar corporations' bottom lines for 5 minutes.
Is saying stuff for optics. And here's the difference. Joe Biden says, get the vaccine, go get your vaccine, go get the vaccine, that's all he says, right? Right? And so what does Trump say? Trump's like, oh, you know, there's ivermectin and there's great therapeutics and there's, you know, you can get the COVID. He was talking to Candace like, oh, your husband got COVID, so he has a great immunity, and if you get COVID.
Like, guys, even if COVID at this point is endemic, which, honestly, yeah, but everyone catching it at once like this is devastating to hospitals. It is devastating to hospitals. Even if COVID is a thing we deal with now, for the rest of our lives in some way, shape, or form, we are still in a pandemic in the sense that it is spreading very quickly to a population that has not dealt with it before. This is dangerous. Lots of people, mostly anti-vaxxers, are winding up in the hospital at this point and dying and clogging up beds that could be taken by other people who have other things going on. It's not good. It's really not good. Not to mention the burnout in the medical community must be insane right now. I can't even imagine. When I was younger, because Michigan, a lot of people in Michigan get into, like, healthcare in some way, shape, or form. I had tons of friends go into nursing. And I almost, seriously, when I was considering what I was going to do after high school, I thought about going into nursing because I had other friends who had gone that path or whatever. And I am so glad I didn't. I would have burnt out like day 2 of the pandemic. I cannot even imagine how rough it must be for healthcare workers right now. Not only dealing with idiots, but dealing with idiots' families, dealing with all the extra work, your coworkers getting burnt out, hospital administrations not giving a shit, not paying you right. It's all fucked. Tea with Goblin says, I played Death Stranding when lockdown first hit. I liked the peaceful walking element of it. However, I was also a bit high as fuck and alone in the house at night and wasn't prepared for the fucking baby noises to come out of my PS4 controller. Oh.
And you heal from it, you have incredible immunity. So he talks.
You feel bad for Randy. I worry about him sometimes. Yeah, me too. Someone check Daddy Sume's link. It's probably after 10,000 years I'm free, right?
After 10,000 years, I'm free!
Fair enough.
He talks about the immunity being important. He talks about ivermectin. He talks about therapeutics. He talks about all the alternatives and then says, I'm against mandating.
Mr. Blast, who, for those who don't know, Mr. Blast is my future father-in-law. A customer of mine, aged 39, just died of COVID. No vax. When he could not breathe, he still wouldn't go to get help, and he passed out. His wife called an ambulance. He died before they got there, and left 4 kids and a wife without a dad. Don't be stubborn, people. Being stubborn, like, medicine is not about your politics. It just isn't. Vaccines are good. We've known this for a century. Stop politicizing vaccines. You're killing yourselves. Speedy Yoshi with 45 bits says, my older sister works for a hospital and has to deal with COVID patients like every day. She's legit thinking of quitting. She tells me stories about how some of the older patients scream that they can't have COVID, it's fake, or that they must have injected them with it. And some of them even ask her, can I get the vaccine now? And she just has to say no. One of them literally begged her for the vaccine before being intubated, then dying. Yeah, I've heard stories about that. It's really, really sad.
I think people should choose. They should think for themselves. Does this sound like someone who's forcing you to get the vaccine?
Is Mr. Blast a doctor? No, he's not. He was just talking about a customer that he had.
Because in my opinion, if he was pushing the vaccine on us, he would abuse of his power and say, guys, all Q followers, listen carefully. The vaccine is 100% safe. You can get it right now. I order you to get it right now. Get it right now. He would start pushing it to the level that Joe Biden is. He is slightly pushing it for
Peter, he understands at least enough that he can't outright say, like, you idiots, you need to get the vaccine, you're all dying, you can't give me money if you're dying. I just can't. Peter, get the vaccine. Trump is telling you to, and you give a shit about what he thinks, so do it.
Optics protecting us from getting round up and thrown in concentration camps, but he's not pushing the vaccine. So it's interesting. For the people who...
Yeah, he's never once acknowledged Q followers directly like that. He's been asked questions about them. He has never once addressed Q people, ever, in that way. Speedy Yoshi with 55 bits, a Herman Cain Award post. An unvaxxed patient on a rotoprone bed and hypothermic protocol. Oh my god, what is that even for? Holy shit. Yikes. Guys, get vaccinated. Get vaccinated. It's literally free.
Who are, you know, turning their backs on Trump because he's pushing the vaccine. Compared to Biden, he's not pushing the vaccine. He talks about other alternatives, therapeutics. He's talking about...
Peter, Biden has also talked about therapeutics, but the point is, if you get vaccinated, you won't need the therapeutics, hopefully. The therapeutics are more expensive. They're more expensive and they're more intensive in terms of what it takes to get them. Everyone cannot take therapeutics. There would not be enough to go around, not to mention much more expensive. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, a single dose of the vaccine costs about $20 or something like that. A single dose of monoclonal antibodies costs about $2,000. It's not even close. Peter, stop it. Nick with 45-bit says, it's for turning into a transformer and owning the libs.
Natural immunity, and then he talks about the vaccine enough to protect us. So that is what's really going on. So when people say, oh, Trump's pushing the vaccine, be like, hold up. Is he really? Not really. Peter, have you considered other possibilities? Maybe you're not...
Oh, God. I'm uncomfortable with how close he is to the camera.
All right, maybe there's another reason he's promoting the vaccines. I have. You know, I've considered many possibilities. One, and they're kind of a bunch of broken theories I couldn't really put together, but there's little pieces of possible explanation. Like, one would be that he's okay with damaging these people with this crazy chess move because med beds are on the way, or they're already, you know, they're coming, and they'll heal all the people from all the damage to the vaccines.
For those who don't know what med beds are, in the QAnon conspiracy theory, I think this also ties into some other conspiracy theories about, like, the Great Reset and aliens and stuff like that. Blackwing Hackety with 45-bit says, Peter would be a real cutie if he wasn't a flarking loony. Sure, I guess. I don't like commenting on people's looks either way, though. So medbeds are a sci-fi technology that they believe aliens developed that's literally like a bed you sit in, and it just cures you of every disease, injury, whatever. This is going to be believe sci-fi technology is real on the bingo card, just so you know.
That's a possibility. Another possibility would be that he's promoting vaccines, even lying about them, because...
Daddy Sume really wants attention today, apparently. A heal station for Metroid? Basically, yes. Yes.
Maybe the real COVID will be released. The real...
Oh, no! I trade. Hold on, let me go back. We gotta listen to this whole statement in and of itself.
Real COVID will be released. The real COVID will be released. It will be deadly and extremely dangerous. And there is a good vaccine for it. And he's trying to open up the anti-vaxxer's mind, open up their mind to possibly taking a real vaccine that...
Peter, we are literally already in that situation! That is the situation we are currently in! COVID is real, you stupid motherfucker! Your children are ill! You're the guy you think is like a fucking Jesus. Donald Trump is even telling you that COVID is real and you should get vaccinated, and you aren't listening. Listen, Peter. Get vaccinated, you stupid bitch. You fool. You foolish fool. Peter, COVID, newsflash, has been real from the beginning! Almost 1 million people in America are dead, Peter! Get vaccinated, you stupid bitch! You stupid, stupid bitch! Ah! Alright, I'm good. It's out. It's out. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Logarth says, I always think of the sarcophagus tech from Stargate. Haven't seen it. Mystical Millennial with 100 bits says, Hannah, It was good getting to see you live after a tough semester. Chat, love y'all. Gonna have a Don't Look Up style night with friends. Have fun. Sky Comet Fallen with 50 bits says, maybe the real COVID was the friends you made along the way. Mike Mack says, fuck your med bed. I'll take L Vapor Rub, the true miracle drug. Tube Man says, med beds like in the movies Elysium and Prometheus? Yes. Zero V Streaming says, the pandemic is never going to end, is it? I mean, eventually it kind of has to. So, that works. Probably with a lot of dead people, though, even more than now. Blackwing Hecate says, and here we see the real Hannah blasts. Procagam says, I need whatever drugs he's taking so I completely ignore reality for a bit. It must be nice. Poetic Fox says, holy shit, Hannah, you fucking scared the fuck out of me. I'm just cleaning glasses and suddenly rage. Hats off. We don't do hats off on tinfoil days because I'm already wearing so much and it's already so hot. So save it for tomorrow.
Actually does protect them from actually a dangerous virus that actually does exist. That's another possibility that I've considered. Another theory, and this is another one of the most common theories, is that, you know, pushing the vaccines was the quickest way to end the pandemic, and if he didn't end the pandemic, then everything would crash, and then this is what I was saying in the beginning, you know, like, the pandemic would crash the economy, and then the United States wouldn't be able to fund its military, the military would get weakened, and we wouldn't be able to policemen of the world, and we're not the policemen of the world, and the world would, you know, be destabilized as China becomes a new superpower, etc. This is the theory I had.
Has anyone heard of the term catastrophizing? Procagam, thanks for 100 bits. Pixels Falling with 80 bits says, gonna go out with my partner, but before I go, I'll protect you from Daddy Sume. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Originally, but it doesn't explain why Trump has been so pro-vaccine. So that's why I had to do more thinking and think about maybe it's bigger than that. Maybe it's not just about ending the pandemic as fast.
Cidosaurus says, my therapist tells me I do that all the time. Mine too. MH Darkbeast says, Hannah, dealing with Peter. If it loads. Oh, flames on the side of my face. I love it, but I can't play a clip that long. Flames on the side of my face.
As possible. And so another possibility that I considered is maybe you can combine a bunch of these theories. Maybe there's med beds. Maybe it's also to get out of the pandemic as soon as possible. Maybe it's also protect us from being thrown into concentration camps. And finally, maybe...
Or, Peter, Occam's razor, vaccines, which we have known about for a century and have completely eradicated multiple diseases, including polio. Maybe vaccines are good, and you should take them because they are good and will protect you and your family and help end the pandemic.
Maybe it's a great technique for painting Trump as the hero, because there are a lot of Democrats who really...
You think Peter's afraid of Occam's razor? Everyone knows Occam is a well-known member of the deep state cabal.
Appreciate that Trump is pushing the vaccines. Now, when you think about it, what happens if Joe Biden came in or Hillary Clinton went in? They took 5 to 12 years, they created a vaccine.
5 to 12 years? Do you know how long a presidential 2 terms is, Peter?
And a lot of people would see...
Like, do you know how long one presidential term is and that you get 2 of them, max? 5 to 12 years.
These, you know, Hillary and Joe Biden as heroes. You were the people that ended the pandemic with your vaccines. You're the hero. And
okay, so you agree vaccines are good then, and that they will stop you from getting things, or if you do have a breakthrough case, it'll prevent you from having a severe case. Felix Night Owl with 45 bits says, how does Trump complain all the time about NATO and the Paris Climate Accords and the Iran nuclear deal and all these other things take advantage of the U.S., but his supporters literally want to occupy and police around the world? Makes no sense. Yeah, consistency isn't their forte.
And a lot of leftists, a lot of Democrats, they're now supporting Trump a little more, or at least liking him or seeing him as the hero or ender of the pandemic, which is...
You can tell Peter spends absolutely zero time talking to non-crazy people, can't you? Like, I don't think he's spent a single second in a non-Trump QAnon group in 2 years, minimum. Peter, I'm glad Donald Trump is saying to take the vaccine, because everyone should say to take the vaccine, but Trump is still a fascist piece of dog shit. That doesn't make him a good person for doing the bare minimum. He is not responsible for the vaccine. He just isn't. But please, you respect the man, so listen to him. Stop trying to tie yourself in knots to pretend he said something he didn't. Listen to the words that came out of his mouth and get vaccinated.
A good thing. It kind of boosts his reputation among the people who don't really like him a lot. And on top of that, you know, Biden has the lowest approval rating in all of presidents in all of human history.
No, he doesn't. Trump was lower. Don't get me wrong, Biden's are low. And honestly, rightfully so, in my opinion. He's gone back on tons of fucking shit that he said he was gonna do. Student loans, anyone? But Trump's were lower, just for the record.
Now, if he had taken credit for the vaccine...
Nixon was lower? I don't know where Nixon was at this point in his presidency. At the end? Yeah.
he would have much higher approval rating. So this is another thing that makes Trump look very good and Biden look very bad. At least among the Democrats.
Wait, why does this make Biden look bad? That doesn't make any sense. You think people on, quote, the left, whatever you think that is, you think they're praising Trump for being pro-vaccine, but mad at Biden for being pro-vaccine? No, I'm mad at Biden because he's a milquetoast piece of shit who doesn't do anything. He's a status quo, like, politician who's doing, like, nothing. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad the infrastructure thing went through, but he hasn't done anything about student debt that he said he was going to. He recently basically gave up on federal, like, intervention in terms of COVID at all. Like, he's bad. He's not as bad as Trump, in my opinion, but he's bad.
So these are all the different theories that I have. I would like to know what you think in the comment section. I know I've been talking so much, but I have put so much thought into this because I'm extremely anti-vax, and I have been, to be honest, really angry that Trump's been pushing the vaccines, and my pastor's angry, and a lot of angry people. So I wanted to calm down, soothe that anger, and find a good reason that made sense so that we can move on and continue supporting Trump, even though this expensive chess move is doing a lot of damage, you know. So much collateral damage with this chess move to lie about the vaccine, say it protects you, say, you know, I got the booster, I got the shot. Trump didn't get any booster. He didn't get a COVID vaccine shot. Are you?
He did, Peter. He got vaccinated, honestly, before almost anyone else. You people are all bitching about, air quote, experimental vaccines, which isn't even experimental, because it had emergency usage, not confirmation, approval, and then full approval. But Trump was one of the first people to get it. Bumble Homestead was, oh, Angry Gun Church, lovely. Blackwing Hecate says, is Peter as angry as 12 Angry Men? No, the 12 Angry Men were capable of listening to solid arguments and changing their opinion based on said evidence.
Are you kidding me? He is lying, but he has to do it for optics. And the best possible explanation I can possibly think of, and if you have a better one, let me know in the comment section so I can read it and go through it, and maybe I'll correct myself and say that I'm wrong. But the best possible explanation, the best possible, I didn't mean to say that, I meant explanation. The best possible explanation that I have is that he was doing it because he was trying to protect us from a greater danger. And the greater danger, the most likely scenario, was what a lot of people expected to happen. That a lot of conservatives were going to be rounded up because we're anti-mask, or because we're, you know, the January 6th, you know, there was a...
Those are completely separate things. If you were at January 6th and you actually, like, broke into the Capitol, yeah, you should face justice for that because you broke the law. What? H. Baird says, the fact that rich people elbowed their way to the front of the line pretty much tells you the vaccines were all researched. Yeah. The fact that the first people to get it were wealthy people and powerful people, politicians, celebrities, people like Jeff fucking Bezos, that's how you know it works. Eek the Cat, thanks for 7 months. Audis Noir says, we should just call his deranged ramblings explanations from now on. Thrash Mio says, I love how anti-vaxxers are freaked out by the mRNA vaccines because, quote, genetic words, but they're all about the Regeneron where the antibodies are partially sourced from genetically modified mice. I know. The problem here is you assume they think about anything or actually know anything about the things they're saying. They don't. See you, Rin. Thanks for stopping by.
Up of painting us as terrorists. There was in the news, mainstream media, they were saying like, white stream terrorists, the...
Peter, this one says hardcore vaccine refusenicks could need de-radicalizing like terrorists. They're not calling you terrorists. They're saying you've been radicalized. Reading comprehension. Difficult. Inslee calls unvaccinated domestic terrorists. Don't know about that one. Not a narrative that I see parroted. I don't think you're a terrorist. I think you're an idiot who's endangering other people. Terrorist implies you have agency and understand what you're doing, and I don't give you that much credit. Blackwing Hecate with 45 bits.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
Always good advice.
White terrorists, the conservative terrorists, the anti-masker terrorists, the vaccine, anti-vaccine terrorists, like, they were labeling us as terrorists left and right. They were building up that narrative, and Trump stopped it. So that's why I think that is the case. So if you've gotten this far in the video, the last possible reason that...
Morak with 10 months says, I got into a huge argument with my dad about philosophy and economics. He ended the argument by telling me I'm just saying words and that I'm lying without any evidence, and now I'm writing him an essay with sources because I hate myself. Good luck. Nick says, to be fair, the school board Karens are effing terrorists. Well, yeah, if you go and threaten someone to try and get your way politically, that is the definition of terrorism. Yeah. Hydrate.
That kind of points this theory about Trump promoting vaccines to protect us from concentration camps is the fact that in the narrative it has been pushed that there's been terrorist attacks against what? Vaccine companies, and a bunch of vaccines have been burned by terrorists.
Yeah, if you did those, I would consider you those things. Yup. If you actually blow up a building or destroy medicine for your political purposes, you are that, Peter, by definition.
So let's see here. If you're a white male Christian, you're a terrorist. If you're anti-masker, you're a terrorist. You're anti-vaxxer, you're a terrorist. The anti-vaxxers are burning down all the vaccines. We must throw them up and put in a concentration camp. And then Trump's like...
Peter is so, intent on taking all of his political enemies, in my opinion, based on hearing him talk. He's intent on taking all his enemies and killing them and putting them in camps, that he is incapable of understanding that even though I disagree with him and think he's wrong, I don't want any ill will towards him. He just assumes I also want to kill him because he wants to kill me. It's so fucked up. Of course, these are all my opinions. KBS666 with 100 bits says, being in a gun cult does make you at least terrorist adjacent. Well, that's a story for another day. Felix Night Owl with 45 bit says, quote, Trump made it stop seeming like we are anti-vax terrorists because he's protecting us and he's an awesome guy. Also, I am extremely anti-vax. Peter, Hannah for Congress 2022.
Oh, don't worry. There's just a small amount of anti-vaxxers. And this is a message for the Democrats because Republicans know it's not the case. And then, he'll say, get the vaccine and all this stuff. So these are counter moves. He's countering the narrative. The narrative was being built up. The narrative was being built up to put us in concentration camps. I believe strongly so. And he calmed it. He destroyed.
Can I post you a link to this? It's not on YouTube. It's on Rumble here. Austy Wasty, thank you for gifting a sub to the community. Speedy Yoshi says, okay, this might be more chuddy than tinfoil, but I have to share it before I forget. Someone on Discord was telling me white people are disadvantaged because they're white, and then they posted these for reasons. Oh, no. I'll list all of the reasons. We're seen as racists in the media. We do not have access to certain college grants that some other races do. Businesses do not get tax cuts if they hire us, so it means that we are less likely to be hired. Currently, we are not looked upon in favor, and any time we make a joke, we are walking a very fine line. I'd love to hear what that person considers a joke. People can get away with calling us racist slurs because you can't be racist towards white people. I'd love to hear what he thinks a racist slur towards white people is. Because I'm aware of zero. Also, your house is worth $1 million. Our house is worth $130,000 because we couldn't afford a nice house. What? His house is twice as expensive as mine. There's a systemic racism towards us too, and even you've shown it. Like when I said BLM should include white people who have been the victims of police brutality. You told me no. We are taught in schools that we should hate ourselves because of what happened years ago instead of having it just be a part of history. What the fuck is he talking about? When violence against white cops, a white cop in our area was just shot in the face a few weeks ago happens, no one says a fucking thing. Yeah, they're a cop. If you're a cop, you take on a risk as part of your job. We have a harder time getting jobs in houses because we are not seen as a minority. We have to provide more... Guys, the C word is not a slur. I'm just not allowed to say it on Twitch because Twitch is stupid. We have to provide more paperwork to even get electricity or gas or water. What are you talking about? What? Some Caucasian people can't even go walking down the street without being jumped. We can't even say shit when people of another race talk shit, talking us because it will be seen as a hate crime. This guy's got some major fucking problems. And also... needs to touch grass instead of spending all his time on weird racist forums. Tubeman says this is a list of the extreme Ritz baked wheat disc energy, or this list gives me extreme Ritz baked wheat disc energy. I have no idea what you mean.
Right. Now, what's interesting, since you got this far in the video, and it's been a long video, probably my longest ever. What's interesting is how they were countering his counter, which is super interesting. So obviously, you know what Trump's counter is. So instead of being anti-vax, which they expect him to do, he's pro-vax. So how do they counter that? They're using his pro-vax stances to create a lot of conflict and divisiveness among conservatives. And Alex Jones is one of the people who's pushing...
This is... You only give me 45 bits to say this? Really? 45 bits for... Oh, fuck it. I set my own limits. Okay. This is a chat someone is paying me to read. These are not my words. Ooh-woo. Oppress me, daddy waddy. I'm your precious whittle tighty whitey minority. What the fuck? What in the fucking shit, Nick? I hate you.
It's the most.
I'm banning you from bits messaging. Aaron4464, thanks for 9 months. Says, hey everybody. God damn it. This stream baby's name is, Uwu Owo. Uwu Owo is the name of this baby.
And I'm very upset about it. But basically, Alex Jones says that Trump is pathetic and that, you know...
Honestly, Alex Jones trying to take on Trump is really funny, and I enjoy it. Procagon with 300 bits says, here, you deserve more for reading that. Oh, thank you. Radiology with 100 bits says, what up? Can't sleep. Peter still having a normal one? Normal for him, yeah. Hydrate.
We should all ditch him, and that, you know, he's got dirt on Trump, and that he's going to reveal it to attack Trump because Trump is a villain, and, you know, so Alex Jones is not someone that, you know, Hugh said he is a Mossad CIA agent, and, sorry, he specifically said that he was Mossad, and Mossad is CIA, and at least in Israel, and so Alex Jones is not a very trustworthy person. You know, he says a bunch of truthful stuff, and then, on top of that, once he's got a bunch of support, he starts attacking Trump. A lot of other people have done this too, you know. What about Ann Coulter? She wrote all these books saying Trump is great. And then she got all that support from conservatives and then turned them to attack Trump. Alex Jones gets a bunch of support from conservatives and uses it to attack Trump.
Peter, it's almost like it's politically advantageous or financially advantageous for Alex Jones to now court even more anti-vax support by shitting on Trump for being pro-vaccine, because he just lost 2 court cases, and, you know, he's gonna owe a lot of money to those Sandy Hook families.
And so now the movement's been divided. My own church is being divided because my pastor might end up going in the direction of, you know,
M. Scheffler 720 says, I used to think Peter could one day see the light and understand that he has been fooled by grifters. This video has made me lose all hopes for him. I'm sad now. I lost faith a while ago. At this point, I'm just, you know, I'm watching the Titanic sink from the distance. I'm not really hoping to save the ship at this point, you know? At the very least, I hope some passengers can get off. Nick with 45-bit says, they do it for money, Peter. Something you seem to love, pissing away on dumb shit. Daddy Sume with 50 bits. Really? Do I need to start passing out bans for making me say specific things? Daddy Sume with 50 bits says, I need you to oppress yourself, Hannah. Peter wants us all to feel the big boot of the orange man. We must submit to the uwu of the Trumpinator. Now what are you going to do about me? Is this another one? I'm not gonna read it again. It's just the same thing but in uwu speak. This is fucking horseshit. I'm not reading that one. I refuse. I have the right to refuse service to anyone.
You know, Trump is bad because he's pushing vaccines. Like, it sounds like he might go in that direction. And that is, this split of...
You meant to post that one? Too bad. You had your chance.
Are you going to take Alex Jones' side or Trump's side? And Trump's pushing vaccines, so he's evil. So you better take Alex Jones' side. And Alex Jones has dirt on Trump, and he's going to release it because Trump is not a good person. This is all to divide and conquer. Right now, the deep state is trying to divide and conquer the whole conservative movement.
Him saying divide and conquer has the same energy of Nick Cage in Face Off saying, I want to take his face off.
And all Trump supporters by creating a...
What the uwu did Daddy Sume do? I don't know.
Big fight. And it's very important that you
I'm so hungry. Why am I so hungry today? I already ate. Nick with 55-bit says, cleanse for later. Elmo goes berserk. Okay, thanks.
Share this video with as many people as possible, or at the very least, talk to people about this video so that this huge divisive tactic does not work. Because it's very important that we stay united with Trump to help him save the world. And so we must remain united under Trump and trust Trump.
Astrofox with 200 bits says, I would appreciate you reading the uwu version of Daddy's last message. No.
He is saving the world, and no matter how much they try to divide us, it's very important that we stay united.
All right, let's cool it in the chat, Sume and Lamb Chop, and let's just chill out and watch Peter, okay?
Together. That's how I feel about it. So in summary,
let's not have a chat
Trump
civil war over the fucking uwu shit, please.
Played a super intelligent, but also very costly chess piece move, and did a phenomenal job countering the deep state's attempt to create this narrative, to put us in concentration camps and execute a bunch of conservatives, and then it can easily win an election, because where do conservatives go? They're all dead, right? Trump did an excellent move, and now we have to work together to counter the deep state's counter move of Trump's counter, which is we must remain united.
This is interesting. It's interesting that in Trump's attempt to unite his group by bringing more moderate, air quote, right-wing Republicans who are fine with vaccinations and have gotten them, bring them in with the anti-vaxxers and trying to pull the anti-vaxxers back, and it's just done the opposite. It's done the opposite. People like Peter are just retreating further into their anti-vax stances. Very interesting. Raychology with 100 bits says, who'd have thought Trump would prove to be a divisive figure? No kidding. H-Baird posts a bunch of symbols I literally can't read. Read, oh, something read leet speak? Can you read leet speak? Or will you read leet speak? Okay, apparently I can. Daddy Sumo with 50-bit says, Team Uwu must defeat Team Owo. Daddy leads Team Uwu. Nick says, this sounds like an alternate version of that idiot Breitbart writer who says that the left is making right-wingers kill themselves by promoting vaccines. Yeah. Very strange. Obstinate defiant personality disorder, as it turns out, appears to be very prevalent amongst right-wingers. Surprise.
Under Trump, we must support him every way we can. He is our general. We take orders from him, and we have to support him. Trump said the number one thing we should be doing right now is helping in any way to decertify the 2020 election. He said that's the number one priority of every Republican, every Trump supporter should be doing. And I'm trying to boost people's moods and try to cheer people up and support him in that way, and also trying to lessen this divisiveness, which is obviously by design, you know, to divide and conquer. And, you know, Q told us about this, divide and conquer.
Peter, the only thing that is dividing and conquering is COVID infecting you, dividing you from your family, and conquering your body. Please get vaccinated. Logarth for 50-bit says, great news, I discovered that someone left a perfectly good jelly donut in the break room for breakfast this morning. Dinner is served. Catherine CD, thanks for 9 months, says, time for a stream baby. This stream baby's name is... Yeah, chat's having a normal one today. I don't know what's going on with chat today. It's very strange. I guess I shouldn't take like 3 or 4 days off when I'm sick. It just pents up everyone's weird chat energy. Catherine CD, your stream baby's name is, you know what? Daddy Sume's having a normal one. Daddy Sume, name the stream baby.
They're trying to divide and conquer right now, and Alex Jones is...
I feel like I'm going to regret that decision.
leading the charge. So... think about that, guys. Try to stay united. I really appreciate all you guys for watching. And I know this has been a long video, but there's been so much on my mind, and I'm glad I finally discovered...
Why give him any power, Hannah? It's like if you gave a chimpanzee a machine gun. Like, nothing good's gonna come out of it, but it's gonna be interesting. Daddy Sume says, Emma Twist. Okay, that's a normal name-ish. Kinda sounds like a porn name. Might be a porn star. If it is, that's fine.
A theory that is extremely likely, that makes a lot of sense, that fits nicely with all the clues that I collected. And now we know that Trump, no matter what, I mean, most likely, yes, these vaccines are going to do a lot of damage to people, but it was better than an alternative. And I do think med beds are around the corner, and they will heal people.
Peter, med beds are not real. Med beds are not real. They are sci-fi technology that doesn't exist.
It's all gonna...
Rachology says, maybe it's all those spiked donuts I've been leaving for chatters to find.
Gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. Then again, I am an optimistic Trump supporter, so that's what I always believe, right? Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will be posting videos of optimistic Trump supporter on YouTube in a little while, maybe at some point this week, and so that is my goal.
Med beds, question mark. Med beds are a sci-fi technology. If you've ever seen a sci-fi movie where anyone has any disease or injury, they basically put them in the bed and it magically cures all their illnesses and diseases. Peter thinks these are real and that Donald Trump is in contact with aliens and bringing them to Earth so he can cure everyone's diseases. Oh yeah, by the way, she posted this to Twitter already, so this is public. Sarah and our corn lord, Actual Jake, got engaged, so everyone congratulate Sarah, Legend of Phoenix. That's awesome. I'm really happy for you two. I'm excited to see you guys. I haven't seen you guys since the engagement. I know Jake and I wanted to hang out and go see that Spider-Man movie or something, so hopefully soon we can get together and hang out, celebrate, all that jazz. That's gonna be a fun wedding, I bet. I'm excited
to do that. And until then, I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much, guys. I hope this answers your question, calms you down, and builds up your support against Trump. And hopefully you can spread this video and share it so that we can stop the divisiveness.
Peter says after being the thing that Trump said was divisive. I love it. I love it so much. So that's what Peter's been up to. If you're watching this later on YouTube, first of all, subscribe and like the video, please. Second of all, I apologize for chat today. It's been a weird one. So yeah, that's what Peter's up to. Still delusional, perhaps more delusional than ever. He may have COVID based on the post he was making to Great Awakening. Don't know for sure. But that's what we know so far. We'll check in on him again in the future, of course, and find out, you know, how he's doing. Probably not good. Logarth with 50 bits says, ironically, the vaccines he thinks are fake are actually going to do a lot of things his fake medbeds are going to be able to do for diseases like cancer, AIDS, and genetic disorders and autoimmune issues. I know, it's funny. They're testing an HIV vaccine with the mRNA technology that was used in the COVID vaccines. So, a weird Hannah, chat is normal, I guess. Yeah, we're doing a bingo check. Let's see what we got in the bingo card. Probably a lot. Forced sterilization, population control is a motive. Do your own research. This is Marxism, socialism, communism, but totally isn't, because he said everything was going to be socialism if Trump didn't do the vaccines. I don't know what he thinks socialism is. Did he say anything about Satanism? I don't remember that. Has taken ivermectin. I'm going to do that one because he was looking for ivermectin. I'm assuming by this point he's taken it. Gary the Khajiit with 100 bits says minor cleanse after Peter's nonsense. Thank you. Take a look at that in a minute. Bad parenting. Medbeds. Believe sci-fi technology actually exists. PSYOP. Did he say PSYOP? I don't think he used a confidence interval. I don't think he did, because he has to say, like, I think this is, you know, X% likely. El Monado says, if Peter took ivermectin, I assume he found out if poop comes from his butthole. He didn't? I didn't think so. He explained the PSYOP? Okay. Okay, we'll do PSYOP. No, not 5D. No one said anything about 5D. That's not how science works. Deep state. Public health measures are compared to the Holocaust. He didn't directly mention aliens in that one, actually, I don't think. Vaccine shedding on the bingo card. Wow, we had a lot today. He didn't actually mention Q directly. Does shedding count as germ theory? No, it counts as vaccine shedding, which is its own space. Hannah might die of laughter. I did not laugh. I got mad. I didn't laugh. Okay, I think that's about it. What was the transphobia thing? I missed Audis Noir's bits. Was it the ones about him mispronouncing something? No, I read that one. It was a long time ago. It was saying, like, we should just call his deranged ramblings explanations. No, I read that one. It was about useful idiots. Are you sure you... I don't see it in my feed anywhere. Can you just post it again? I'll read it regardless. Hannah exasperated. Where's that one? There we go. I think that's it. My research said not by a researcher. Sure. Okay. Caught up. Flat Earths when they realize their balls are round. Jesus. Yes, Flat Earth on the bingo card too. I forgot that one, sorry. What's actually happening here is Trump sees anti-vaxxers as useful idiots, but then when they stop being useful, they're just idiots. Pretty much. Filming in a car, yes. Flat Earth and filming in a car from the first thing. Sorry, I forgot about the first video we watched. How about the fake moon thing? This guy thinks the moon is fake or something. No, wait, wrong video. Where's the moon one? It's a different one. Sorry, I gotta find which video. There we go. The moon is a lie. Here's the video about... I have 2 people today who think the moon is a lie. You know, it's so common.
Hello everyone, Risk Mr. Thrive and Survive. It is October 12th, 2015. We are going to be looking at a lot of things about the moon coming up shortly here on this channel. And we might as well...
What about Bob? Thank you for donating $5. Says not all of us are crazy. Okay, sure. Tea with Goblin says, whenever you do the next Sovereign Citizen Tinfoil stream, I have a new lolcow for you. Have to put links in a whisper. Spoiler, he thinks COVID can be treated with bicarb and is now offering seminars on, quote, biblically based common law to anti-vaxxers. No pressure if it's not your thing, though. Sounds good. Yeah, whisper it to me. Thank you. H-Baird says, if the moon is a lie, does that mean it's made of cake? Oh, epic gamer moment. Nick with 45-bit says default font energy already. True. For the record, I like Portal a lot. Those are my favorite games. Or at least some of them. Sorry. They're in my top 10. Princess Amelia, thanks for 13 months, says, 13, lucky for some, unlucky for others.
We'll just start getting in there on some of the simpler things, some of the basics to get those out of the way.
Hydrate.
And I want to issue a challenge right now also. The people claim that the moon causes the tides on the Earth. Now, unfortunately, I can't find any correlation between the moon and the tides. And what I mean by that...
Let's keep going.
It's you know, the every high tide comes, I don't know what the exact number is, I'd have to look it up again, like every 12 hours and 24 minutes or some sort of thing like that. We have the...
Okay, so can I turn up the volume? I can. So the moon... Why do I have to explain this? So the moon is going around the Earth, right? And as it's going around the moon, it's pulling the ocean towards it. And in concert with that movement, there's sort of a bulge of water around the Earth that bulges towards the moon. And as the moon and the Earth kind of, you know, do their little dance, that space moves where the height is. And that bulge is the high tide. It's caused by the moon. Gara the Khajiit says, the moon is real. It's just an egg, according to Peter Capaldi's worst Doctor Who episode. I'm gonna have to say the one where the girl showed up in a plant at the end. That's the worst.
A high tide repeat itself. The problem is I can't find the moon having any kind of cycle that works off that exact same time period.
It's rotation around the Earth. Even within your own belief system, like you said, 12 hours. That's half of 24. It takes 12 hours, roughly, for the moon to get to the other side of the Earth. Meek says, tide goes in, tide goes out. Can't explain that. True.
In fact, it's quite a bit off. So I don't understand why, if the moon is, let's say, directly overhead one day, 12 hours, and let's say the cycle's 12 hours, 20 minutes. 12 hours, 20 minutes later, it should be on the exact opposite side of the Earth, and 12 hours, 20 minutes after that, it should be back overhead directly again. That's not how it works. There's a time difference between the two. There's a lag. And guys, I want to show a correlation. I know that might sound silly, but I think that will help prove a flat Earth if we can actually find a correlation between the moon and the tides. And the reason is...
The correlation between the moon and the tides is where the moon is around the Earth. This is not hard to understand. Sorry, I missed someone's bits. Blackwing Hecate said, if I had a nickel for every time Hannah found someone who believes the moon is fake, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. I understood that reference. Meek said... Nope, read that one, sorry. Dread Pirate Mick says, he's disputing the oldest science known to humanity. Neolithic peoples knew that the moon caused tides, even if they didn't know why. Daddy Sume with 50 bits says, bulge, question mark?
Please adopt me.
Oh, that's loud as shit. Holy fuck.
On your butt as I lick my lips.
Yeah, we watched this in a cringe stream before.
Shit, you don't see it coming.
Oh, sorry, headphone users. Blame Daddy Sume. All right, we're caught up.
Because people don't understand, again, the properties of water and how that works. And I will explain that in another video, but water does not expand or be pulled. It can't be pulled and be drawn up by gravity. That's an...
It literally can. That's how tides work. How do tides work? How do tides work? This is literally like elementary school level science, people. Okay, so like the moon is at a certain place on the Earth. It pulls it that way towards the moon. As an effect of this, the same thing happens on the opposite side, and the low tide happens on the perpendicular side. Oh my god, this has been understood for so long. This is not disputed science. This is not something we do not have models and explanations and predictive, like, formulas for. We know and can demonstrate why we know how tides work.
Possibility. It's not a property of water. It just isn't. I want you to look at how flooding occurs. That is how water builds up. The same process that causes flooding is the exact same process which causes high tides. And then when the tides recede, when the
how do you think the ocean is flooding? It's the ocean. H-Baird says, how do tides work? You take the pod out of the container and pop it in a washing machine, and if you're a zoomer, fight the urge to eat it. So he thinks that flooding in the ocean, cyclically, every day is happening. How? How does he think that works? Morok with 100 bits says, this is figuratively Daddy Sume. Why are we talking about Daddy Sume so much today? Is this the goddamn Daddy Sume stream?
To this educational magazine they found.
Womwink, you made that magazine. I helped you. You said if I didn't help you, I wouldn't get giggle cakes.
Jesus Christ. After with 200 bits says, hey, quick question, Hannah. Do I have a bingo sub to redeem? Let me take a look. It'll just take me a sec to open the file, which I should have left open, but I didn't. Afterac, indeed you do. Would you like it? Would you like it now? Let me know if you want it or if you want me to gift it to someone else. Whatevs.
Floods recede. That's also the same process that causes the tides to drop. No difference. What that is called is accumulation of water. And I will leave it at that for now. I will talk about that in more detail in another video.
Okay, here you go.
Let's get to the moon, because we had someone who commented on a video quite a little bit ago about this, a sea starting at the top, and someone sent a picture from South Africa where it showed this sea right here near the top, near sunrise. Near moonrise, and at moonset, it had rotated down to near the bottom. And the person said, you got to be an idiot to believe that actually happens in the night, because they said what happens is, if you watch the moon through the night, it will rotate from moonrise to moonset. And boy, do we get a bunch of vitriol from that. So the person that sent those videos swears that's what that he saw looking through the
This sounds like Call's brother, A Call for a Moon Rising.
camera lens, and has done one better than that. He's proved it, and we're going to look at that in just a second. Thank you for the person who sent me this link to Ashley Weber's site. I'm sorry, Ashley Webster. And this was a, let me see if I can get the date here. It was the middle of July, I think, over the central part of the United States. And someone had made the comment that when you're looking through the lens, here we go, the blue moon, and all that means, guys, it's the second full moon in the same calendar month. That's all that means. United States of America, 2 a.m. Central Standard Time. So this is somewhere in the central part of the United States, probably east central side. And this is the mirror image of what I see where I am in Arizona. Why? It's because they are using a lens which reverses what they see in the sky when they film it. And I'm going to play this for just a second. Let me turn the volume off. God forbid, I don't want to strike on music. But anyway, let me play it a little bit and you'll see. It's actually moving there, and then it's showing clouds behind it, or in front of it rather. We're going to be looking at clouds behind the moon as well, and the sun. And boy, that's got me.
There are no clouds behind the moon or sun. The moon and the sun are much further away than clouds.
Thinking, but we're going to be talking about all that stuff. Here's a clear case of clouds moving in front of the moon. Keep this in mind for future videos.
That's where they move.
Coming very soon, actually. But this sea right here, it's still visible. And again, this is the exact opposite of what I see. And I'm in Arizona. And I've been watching the moon since I was a kid. What all this is showing here, and let me get back to where you can see it, and pause it here. This is just showing that that is correct. You can be using lenses, and the lenses will, show something that is different. So,
They might have just flipped the video. Daddy Sume with 50-bit says, if OG Charmed has taught me anything, blue moons cause witches to turn into PMS werewolves. I'm 100% sure this is... I am 100%. This show was insane. Never seen it. And Blackwing Hecate says, the Oort cloud. Yes, that's clearly what he's talking about.
The mirror image. That is possible.
Purple Nickel says, Arizona, why is it always my shitty state? Hey, sometimes it's Michigan, sometimes it's Florida. It's usually, those are the three, though.
Possible. However, let's switch now and see what we are getting from South Africa. Now, this is from a channel called Joravin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, or Joravin. I'm not sure on the pronunciation, but I hope I'm pronouncing this right. He's done a couple of videos, and I want to show you this. There's a couple of things he put in here I thought was actually pretty excellent and pretty much to the point. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, here's one. This is true, and this is true. Do you see this right here? It's all a matter of perspective. All right, and then he wrote here, please consider this before talking or typing. So you can have a perspective of this being a square and a circle, and they're both...
Okay, but neither of those are true. It's a cylinder. You can see the reality. Ugh.
True, aren't they? And then there's another one which I found interesting too, but I'll skip that for now. What he does is this is the one here. I'm not sure if this will show how I'm doing this, but this person over here sees 4 sticks or 4 cubes, logs, whatever they are, and this person over here sees 3. In any case, let's jump to the first picture that I've shown on my site before. Here's the sea I was talking about. It was at the top of the moon, almost due north, if you're looking at it.
Did he say the sea?
From a north-south perspective, from us looking at the moon. This is the one I showed, and he shows what camera he used. It shows that sea at the top. And then the second picture I showed was this one, and the sea has rotated down here near moon set.
Does he mean the large depressions in the moon's surface that are darker? He thinks those are seas? In fairness, I think they are actually referred to as seas, like the Sea of Tranquility. Maybe he is just using actual, language that is used, and I'm just assuming the worst because I watch a ton of conspiracy theorists. Audis Noir with 50-bit says, those actually are called C's. Okay. My brain immediately goes to the dumbest thing possible because I watch Peter and Call.
So on the same day, near moon rise, it is up here, and then later on, it has rotated all the way around to here. And this is what someone said. This is called the Sea of... I thought this one actually was called the Sea of Crisis. And he's talking about Sea of Fertility. It might be another one. In any case...
Okay. I'm over Moon Guy. I don't find him interesting. You know who I do find interesting? If I can pull it up. I didn't time that very well, did I? There we go. Call for an uprising. So for those of you who maybe missed the video we did on Call the other day, Call was very concerned because January 5th, which is, let's see, right now, January 5th is the rollout of 5G networks across America for, I think, Verizon and AT&T customers. I could be wrong. They'll probably say in the video. Either way, two very large cell phone providers are switching on a lot of towers today. In fairness, I already live in an area that had 5G coverage, like at my house, so I'm bathing in 5G all day, every day. Does wonders for the skin. But anyway, Call is a crazy conspiracy theorist, so he thinks all kinds of crazy stuff was going to happen and that people were going to go crazy. You know, various dumb 5G conspiracy theories. Today's the day, so let's see what he has to say, because, you know, nothing has happened. He posted this yesterday, though, so let's see what he thought was going to happen today. Nick says, 5G hot tub stream. If you guys want to buy me a hot tub, then yes, we'll do a hot tub stream.
If you've ever had this feeling that's...
Can I check whether I'm dead for you? Hold on, let me see if my smartwatch has a Are You Dead function. There is an app for that. I am... It says terminally gay. But I think that means I'm alive. So that's probably good.
Something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was. Then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. This is an important video about the 5G rollout that's occurring on January 5th. It's still...
Which, again, is today. And where I am, it's 9 p.m. So, at least on the East Coast and, like, Eastern time zone areas, it's been a thing all day. Haven't heard of the zombie apocalypse starting up yet. Trust me, I'd be the first to know. I'm very slow. I'd become a zombie almost immediately. If anything, I'd be throwing myself at the horde in a zombie apocalypse. I am 100% team zombie. No offense, I just think you all look delicious. Nick with 45-bit says, oh god, I hope Call watches this segment and makes another dumbass video on his channel. Poetic Fox with a bunch of bits says, they delayed deployment for 2 weeks and this is gonna fuel these nutballs more. Boeing and other aircraft manufacturers and Buttigieg convinced them to delay it. Oh, okay. Cool, so we have 2 more weeks of this stuff. Still, let's watch his claims and then 2 weeks from now we can laugh at him. Have a good night, Daddy Sume. Enjoy your Final Fantasy.
Is occurring despite now stories today coming out that there's going to be a delay at least around some of the airports for 2 weeks. Now, most of you have commented many times over saying, well, the 5G's already here. It's already been out. Agree.
Yeah, again, I have it literally right now. Like, I have 5G. I have 3 bars of 5G right now.
Agreed, 100%. We all know that the 5G towers can be located all around us. We could see them. We know during this entire thing that's occurred that they've been putting 5G towers up. That's one of the reasons they wanted a lot of people indoors, so they can constantly just be putting these things up and hiding them in certain places and trees and wherever else. Hoping.
Call, they normally try and disguise cell towers because they're ugly. It's not nefarious. It's just trying to make the area not look like dog shit. It's not scary. It's just trying to keep the aesthetic of the area from looking like a sci-fi dystopia. Meek with 45 bits says, I can't see you dying in a zombie apocalypse. You would somehow outlive the rest of us of your natural life. Jake, on the other hand, would die from hubris. Possibly.
That nobody notices. But the rollout is going to be significant because a lot of them are going to be turned on. And one of the things I want to cover, well, a lot of them are going to be turned on that haven't been turned on yet. And one of the things I wanted to cover to make you guys aware, because I'm not sure if anyone is aware, but I know some of you at least are, who follow this stuff and follow the EMFs and follow the dangers of all of it, is the street lights. Now,
I don't know if you know this, but electromagnetic frequencies are around you all the time. It's fine. If you exist, in reality, you are being bombarded all the time with different electromagnetic frequencies. It's just part of reality.
Now, obviously,
Baha says, Hannah wouldn't die because she'd get in a bunker and watch Blu-rays happily till the end of time. That's true. I do own over 600... Hold on. I gotta update my count as of today. I'm a doomsday prepper, but only in the sense that I am preparing so once the internet goes down, I won't be bored. I own 638 different titles. Some of them are movies, some of them are TV shows. I'm currently working on my Blu-ray.com account, if anyone wants to peruse my library sometime. But I gotta catalog it all on Blu-ray.com. So if anyone else is a collector out there, we can maybe compare and talk on the forums sometime. It'll be fun.
I've been covering the streetlights with the purple lights. Right, we've all talked about that and the Luciferes and the purpose of the purple light.
Luciferus? Now I can't say it correctly because Luciferase. I believe he's talking about Luciferase, which is something about COVID tests or vaccines. I don't even remember what it was, but it sounds vaguely, if you mispronounce it, like Lucifer. So of course the conspiracy theorists think it's a... some kind of a telegramming their intentions or telegraphing their intentions from the cabal.
Lights and what they're trying to do with the purple.
Baha, my skill set involves corralling people from chat, not being smart. Astro Fox says, you're also emitting some EM radiation in the form of infrared light, which is how night vision works. Also, you're being bombarded with radiation from both deep space and the sun by particles and EM radiation that has much more energy. Yeah. What you want to avoid is ionizing radiation.
Place and why they're going to be all over the place. That's the black light, so to speak, the purple lights.
Hannah is great at collecting all the horny people into one chat. That's actually my function. I'm a CIA agent whose entire job is to just keep all of you people away from the rest of the populace. As long as I can keep you here, you're not bothering others.
Where people are reporting in almost every single state now with the same excuse of, oh, it's an accident, we're going to go and replace them. Shouldn't that have happened the first time that this went out and it was a mistake? And then everyone checked and made sure they didn't just keep installing these things. But they've...
Call, if they already have them in, they're going to install them until they're fixed. What? They have to produce new panels. The alternative would be just to not have street lights, which they're not going to do.
Install them in almost every state. But one of the things is that the street lights and the 5G, because we know these people are snakes, right? So
does this mean you're going to collar and leash me? No, I'm a sub, so sorry.
What they want us to do is go around looking for these towers all over the place. But what they're really doing is they're hiding the 5G technology inside of things like streetlights. So, for example, I mean, you know, this guy just happened to find it, and some people are like, well, that's not really what's going on. Well, it's exactly what's going on.
This is an LED streetlight. Let's see what's inside. Uh-oh. Apparently, This is an LED 5G streetlight.
Okay. And that's not nefarious. That's actually pretty smart. For those who don't know, 5G, while it is quicker, has a shorter range than like 4G or even lower cell phone broadcasts. So 5G towers need to be more places. Of course, you don't want just 5G towers everywhere. They don't look very nice. So if you can like stick them in something that's already going to be around, that's tall, like a street light, that's smart. That makes sense. Why wouldn't you do that?
It's pretty neat.
What we're seeing is 5G being installed in locations.
Tea with Goblin says, joke's on you, Hannah. We're not locked in the horny brig with you. You're locked in here with us. Ooh woo. I'm immune.
That you will not be able to detect them.
That's what the foil is actually for. It protects me from everyone else's fluids and vibes.
And track them. And one of the things that they're doing, I'm not sure if you've heard about this, in addition to the purple lights, is a lot of cities are popping up now wanting to install new streetlights, LED streetlights, to stop crime. We've heard about this.
LED streetlights are, A, lower energy, so cheaper and better for the environment. And I'm guessing, did I say A or did I say 1? Let's say B. I think I said A. B, there have been studies that show that cooler... Bless you. There have been studies that show cooler... Bless you again. There have been studies that have shown that cooler colored streetlights that skew towards the blue spectrum, the blue side of the spectrum, rather, the kind of cooler colors, can make people, or at least there's a correlation between that and lower crime numbers. I'm pretty skeptical of those claims, and assuming that the correlation is some other factor that they're not taking into account. I don't know, though. H. Baird says, you're immune, but the last video told us Mune was fake. Okay, alright, that's pretty good. The Mune. Okay.
Huge crime wave in America. Oh, the crime wave to defund the police. The cities are coming out, because remember, they want smart cities, which I'll show you here in a minute, but the cities are coming out and talking about replacing...
Bluer streetlights improve visibility? It'd be interesting if it was that simple. Huh.
Old streetlights because they're dim and they're non-effective, and apparently crimes are high because they're dim and non-effective, with...
Okay, so he's even saying that. Cool.
LED lights so that they're more bright and people can see and they're energy efficient. But in reality, these new streetlights are installed with 5G type technology.
I mean, some of them might be. That's fine. 5G isn't a bad thing. It's just another generation of, like, mobile data technology. It's fine.
That they're going to use and turn on and crank up.
A citywide project in Atlanta aims to reduce crime over time, but is there evidence to actually support...
Norm Can't Shoot with 50 bits says, post-apocalypse zombie Hannah would be host a stream making fun of zombies who think brains are fake. Honest Noir says, I've experienced the thing with LEDs enhancing visibility. They cast sharper shadows, so there's a higher contrast between light and dark areas. Interesting.
Report that the project will work as it's planned.
Yeah, Hope Ford explains why lighting up the night may reveal more shadows.
Before her time as Atlanta's leader ends, Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms announced a new plan.
And that's our Light Up the Night initiative.
The city partners with the Atlanta Department of Transportation and Georgia Power to install 10,000 lights by the end of 2022.
You may have noticed new lights on Goleta streets. That's because after 4 years of planning and preparation, the city has begun installing new LED streetlights. Fox 11's Blake Devine explains how these new lights will help cut costs while also brightening things up.
Cecilia Brown has lived in Goleta for quite some time.
At night, you think?
And for as long as she can remember, the city's old orange streetlights have beamed into her backyard every night.
I didn't like that because I could go out and read a book in my backyard. It was so light.
Now, things have changed, with the city of Goleta flipping the switch over to LED lights in her neighborhood.
Now with the LED light, with a more directed focus light and a backside shield, My backyard is dark, and I appreciate that.
Project manager Michael Winnewisser says it'll save the city around $115,000 annually in energy savings, along with...
That's great. I think that's awesome. This is the kind of stuff we need to be doing on large scale. Anything we can do to cut energy consumption is a good thing as we continue to work towards switching our grids over to more renewables and trying to get off of fossil fuels and stuff like that. Excellent move.
Requiring much less maintenance.
They're more energy efficient, they save the city money, they've reduced the cost of maintaining them, so it's really just overall a great project for the city.
Since the start of September, it's been out with the old, in with the new. As crews have begun the prolonged process of installing over 1,400 LED streetlights.
We have our contractor out going street to street, light to light, replacing all these lights, these older high pressure sodium lights with newer LEDs.
These brand new lights have a warm white glow, and while the light is bright, it's directed downward, complying with dark sky standards.
The new one that we're getting are all LED, a lot more compact, clean, brighter, wider light.
This is a once-in-a-generational project, so they won't be replacing these lights, except for those that go out, for a long time.
City officials expect this project to be complete by the end of October. In Goleta, Blake Devine, Fox 11 News.
So the increase in these streetlights is obviously not because, excuse me, not an increase in these streetlights, but the putting these streetlights in, right, and taking out the old streetlights and replacing streetlights with these LED streetlights is so that they can get this type of technology in there, which of course is leading to the smart cities and the smart technology, which of course is all part of the 5G agenda.
What are you talking about? They just want streetlights that cost less money. What?
My idea of a smart home is having a digital chef who will show me how to cook healthy meals based on what I have in my fridge. Now that would be awesome.
This will soon become a reality with 5G technology. With ultra-low latency and real...
I don't know if you know this, but I have Wi-Fi in my house, so I actually don't need 5G in my house. I have it. I'm happy I have it, but I have Wi-Fi.
Time connectivity at blistering speed. The way we do business is set to change.
Metaverse, for example, has the ability to host multiple services on a single digital platform, where we can interact with avatars.
Dr. Gamble says, so is my LED flashlight a part of the 5G agenda then? Of course. Welcome to the cabal. 74Quinn74 says, here in Milwaukee, we have some purple lights and save more energy and are better for nightlife, and they look awesome. I've only seen them on the freeway, though. The purple ones are broken. Fun fact. They're not supposed to be that purple. The main manufacturer of these LED panels for, LED panels for the streetlights had a manufacturing error. We actually saw some when we were driving back from family stuff for Christmas, and they're degrading or something. Basically, something is breaking in them, so instead of, like, white light, they're shifting purple. So they have to replace those ones. I think they've fixed whatever the manufacturing error was, so the new ones are not anymore, to my knowledge. Could be wrong, though. But yeah, now they gotta spend time replacing those panels.
Or attend virtual...
Do you need 2 layers to block the 5G? Asking for a friend. I'd go at least 3.
consultations using VR headsets in our own 5G homes. These new connected experiences will transform our living spaces to be more efficient, sustainable, and inclusive.
Putting the human experience at the core of design will be key by shaping hyper-connected cities. The 5G revolution is not a matter of if, but when.
Of course, 5G on the bingo card, by the way.
So these are things that we have to keep an eye on because they're not just going to be located inside of streetlights, but streetlights are obviously one of the easiest places for them to stash this type of technology because there's a streetlight pretty much in every city about 100 feet apart from one another, maybe a little bit more. I don't know the exact details on it, but obviously you see streetlights in a row. And then of course they're talking about bringing these LED streetlights into communities, bringing them into developments, into suburbia, right? They're talking about how they need, we can stop crime in these, people are getting robbed in these small towns or in these developments or these communities.
I mean, more visibility isn't a bad thing if people are walking around. I always feel weird about, like, light pollution, because I already think, I wish people could... There should be, like, a national holiday where all, like, non-essential lights get turned off for an hour at night or something, just so we can see the night sky in cities and stuff. But I understand that's not necessarily practical. So I get concerns about light pollution and stuff like that. However, practically speaking, I do understand that, yeah, if people are in residential neighborhoods or anywhere where they could be walking around, it's helpful to be able to see where you're going when it's dark out. And it's also safer. Purple Spyro fan, thank you for 4 months. Appreciate it.
Well, now we can bring in the LED streetlight so it's even brighter, so it's harder.
Sensors that turn the lights on and off. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad, I guess. Sure.
For these criminals to get away, right? Those are the excuses and the types of things they use so that they can get this type of technology, this technology that is going to...
That actually would be smart. A street light that maybe, like, somehow detects that people are walking in a certain area and what direction they're going, so it turns on lights in sort of a radius around them, but when no one's around, they turn off. Is that dangerous? I don't know. I'm not an engineer, don't ask me.
To completely just radiate people and do more than just that. Because remember, people are going to be hooked up to this technology.
I don't just mean like a normal motion activation. I mean one that also says, like, this person is in this area, so the light they're under should be on, but also they're walking this direction, so this many lights forward should also be on. That's how it works in my head. I don't know. M. Scheffler says, is it just me, or is small town suburbs a racist dog whistle now? I have no idea.
Type of technology.
How would it be that? Small towns are more typically associated with, like, rural white farmers. Urban is often used as a dog whistle.
If they have a certain something inside of them, right? We've heard the World Economic Forum. We've heard all of these leaders talk about the advancement and the new age of technology being in people, not on people. And so in other words, not being just about, my 5G cell phone and there's a 5G streetlight, a 5G tower. They want you connected to this technology, you. And the only way you can be connected is have certain something inside you. Okay?
Nope, never mind.
And it's probably deeper than just what they're currently doing, because there's going to be...
That is microchips on the bingo card, though.
Something permanent, because at the moment, it's not something that's permanent. That's why they want to constantly get something else in you. Boost! Excuse me, Gesundheit. And this... There's going to be something permanent, because...
Report. What will I report?
At the moment, it's not something that's permanent. That's why they want to constantly get something else in you. Boost!
JP Black 79, thanks for 4 months, says, I love my 5G chip, but alas, we don't have 5G available in my area yet. Sad face. Anti-Pretzel says, admit it, Call, you're just afraid of cybernetic cyberpunk future. Well, you'll be a property of the megacorps like Amazon anyway. I already am. Stuck in an Amazon warehouse all day streaming. That's how it works.
Excuse me, Gesundheit. And this is all done on purpose. Now, the development of 5G smart streetlights is something...
Working in an Amazon warehouse, the peeing in a bottle, not that difficult. The pooping in the water bottles, excessively difficult. Tube Man with 50-bit says, the future the libs want. I've never asked for this. Ex. Oh no, now where did it go? There it is. No, that's a different one. Argonian Bum with 45 bits says, train. MW1642 with 100 bits starts the hype train. Thank you.
Something that you're hearing a lot of these telecom companies pushing, shedding light on 5G street furniture. That's what they're calling it. Some websites like this are calling it street furniture, so they can put them in light poles inside of cities, and then other small vendors and things like that, so that we suddenly have smart cities, right? In these cities that are running on the 5G technology. Mobile operators densify their radio access networks to put 5G's capabilities to their full use in
Eris DeBear, thank you for gifting 3 tier 1 subs.
Street furniture, in particular street lighting infrastructure, is set to play an increasingly important role enabling that, as well as providing lots of other smart city capabilities. Using streetlights as a way to deploy wireless access infrastructure isn't new, but it's also not that widespread yet, and is only just starting to play a role in 5G expansion plans. And this is one of the things with this rollout, this is part of the deployment, is this. And so people aren't really going to know, but by a technological default, in a sense, if people start reading that there's, they're emitting 5G all over these cities, they're gonna say, look, AT&T, Verizon, these companies came out, they told you there was gonna be a big rollout, that's why there's more radioactivity, that's why you're finding more radiation, that's why.
Call! No! Do you understand that when people are talking about dangerous radiation, they are talking about ionizing radiation? The part of the electromagnetic spectrum that 5G is using is not dangerous to you. It is not dangerous to your body. It is fine. Cidosaurus with 100 bits says, call makes me crazy. I seriously don't understand how someone can be so paranoid about everything and function. I don't believe he functions. Durnyal says, first hype, 83% to level 2. Sorry, M. Scheffler, I missed your bits. Let me go find them. If I can. M. Scheffler said, I'm saying he is saying it's going to affect the whites now. Oh. Possibly. With the dog
EMF
whistle comment.
Meters are going crazy, and people are like, oh, I don't even see the towers. They'll be like, oh, don't worry about it. Because the towers are all around you.
Which is fine. I'd rather them be in streetlights and stuff than just be, like, out there somewhere with a big 5G logo on them. That's obnoxious. Bittergrin, thanks for 100 bits. 88% to level 2.
Right? You just don't know it. You don't need to see one of these huge towers like you see constantly when we talk about this stuff, because they are putting it inside of other places. Remember all the stuff that was going on in the UK last year, which I covered, where people were literally taking these things down?
Yeah. Idiots like Call. Hydrate.
They even got to a point where they weren't letting anyone talk about that stuff on YouTube. I don't even know if I can talk about it now, but they obviously have bigger fish to fry at the moment with censorship on here, because there's certain something which obviously connects to this 5G capability.
Tube Man with 50 bits says, I would recommend playing Deus Ex Human Revolution. It's a really good near-future sci-fi game, though I would suggest playing the PC version and getting the mod that skips the terrible boss fights. I'll think about it. Purple Nickel with 100 bits says, choo-choo.
That's more important to them at the moment.
I don't PC game a lot. I prefer console gaming. I know, I'm a dirty peasant. It's fine, though. And I have a PC that's very, very capable of playing games. I'm just way more comfortable doing it on a couch downstairs. Narninia Owl says, oh, you mean the idiots destroying older towns because you can't really tell the difference? Or older towers, sorry, yeah.
And of course, they're going to get away with doing this with the technology, because all they have to do is come out and tell you.
It's not just about the controller. I know you can use controllers on PCs. I don't want to sit in this chair with this tiny computer playing a video game. I want to go sit on my couch with my 65-inch TV and play a game.
It's safe and it's not dangerous, even though many scientists, many people in technology have come out and said that they don't believe that it's safe. They go on, they say, well, we need to beat Russia, we need to beat Germany, we need to beat the other countries to make sure that we have it. So we can download music faster, so we can get the next NSYNC song downloaded quick enough.
I'm pretty sure the idea call is not on an individual level necessarily, but to allow for quick communication between gadgets, vehicles. If we're talking about something like a warehouse, being able to have more effective, autonomous, basically robots going around and moving things from different shelves or moving stuff around and being able to communicate with one another. very low latency communication between devices is more what I understand 5G to be a big deal for, less so just downloading stuff. Though, yes, the downloading with 5G is quicker, I've noticed. Citosaurus with 50 bits says, time for frozen pizza. Ugh, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. He did say, huh. That's on the bingo card. Thanks, Baha. Call Sites Media from 20 years ago with the InSync comment. 100%. Yes. InSync is the most up-to-date band he can think of. Sky Comet Fallen says, got a gaming laptop. I play PC games on the couch all the time with my Alienware laptop. If someone wants to come to my house for free and hook up my computer that is up here for streaming purposes to my TV downstairs, sure, I'll use it, but I'm not gonna do it. I have no interest. Andrew Dickerson says, no, get thee. It fixes the boss fights to where you can use abilities like hacking to win boss fights without having to actually directly confront them. Again, I've not played the game, so I have no idea what you're talking about. M. Shuffler with 50 bits. Sky Comet Fallen with 50 says, InSync, what year does Call think it is? Dirtjur says, we're all oppressed gamers. Let her play how she wants. And we're all caught up.
I mean, what?
Do I think these references might be dating how long ago his kids stopped talking to him? I think it more so dates how long ago he disconnected from reality and stopped paying attention to pop culture or culture in general outside of conspiracy circles.
I tell you, it has to do with many other things in the cyber world, and it'll protect us from cyber attacks and all that stuff. Even those are all things that are done from within. So the rollout...
Call thinks all hacks are coming from inside the house.
It's not just about turning on a switch. It's also about an increase in this type of stuff popping up.
I could get a Raspberry Pi and use the Steam Link app to stream your computer to your TV. Again, all of these things are things you want me to purchase and then do so I can play something on my TV that I don't really care to do. If you want to come to my house and do that, right on. I do not care to spend the time, energy, or money to do that. Bittergrin says, bingo! Let's take a look. Vaccine shedding, huh, free space, flat earth, Call Sites Media from 20 years ago. That's a bingo. That is a bingo. I'll write down your name, unless you want me to gift it to someone else. Congrats on the bingo win. That is the official bingo win of the day. We can keep playing Tinfoil Tuesday bingo. We can keep playing Tinfoil Tuesday bingo, but that is the winner, Bittergrin. Congrats. Sky Comet Fallen says, the call is coming from inside the house. Don't invite people to our house, pretty please. Okay, if someone wants to drop off... I'm joking, no. Let me write your name down for that win.
Cities specifically, and suburbia as well, which is true. But the rollout in Atlanta,
16% to level 3 with a minute left.
The rollout in some of these other places where they're saying, look, the streetlights are dim, we have a huge wave in...
Can we get rid of the Planet X space? I've gotten stuck on it 3 times. No, that's how bingo works. Sometimes the spaces are rare. You get the bingo card you get. There's a luck portion of bingo. Not all the spaces have to be equally likely in this game.
Crime. Now we're gonna get these LED lights. The zombies go, that's wonderful. Well, we can see even better. Like, that's gonna stop.
Yeah, unlike these geniuses who think seeing further is bad for some reason.
Stop crime from happening, apparently. Then why don't you just...
Baha, could you do me a favor? Could you... Well, no. Do I want to do something quicker for dinner? I'll find something I can microwave. Never mind. I don't want to wait for the oven because I'm really hungry.
Just put pew...
Ooh, that was so close. That was so close. Spongy Lord with 400 bits says, all your opinions are valid. Unrelated question. Favorite kind of monster girl? Tiefling. Same answer for Monster Boy. Nero Jack, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. So close. That would have saved the hype train. Just a second too late, though, but I really appreciate all the gifted subs. Thank you.
Huge bright lights everywhere. I mean, It's just insanity. But this is their way of saying, okay, we can get these 5G towers up all over the place without actually popping up the actual massive towers. We could have the 5G capability, which might not reach as far as a tower will reach because it's a smaller.
They have to be smaller. They have a lower, again, distance. Like, it doesn't make sense to build a giant tower for it because you got to build a lot more of them all over the place because the range is smaller.
It's not as big as the towers are per se, but if we have one every 100 feet, it'll have the same effect. So
do I call Baja off work? No, not really. I use her real name, which I know, or call her, like love or darling or, whatever,
Out on this stuff.
I do not call her Baja.
In your town, in your cities, make people aware. This is part of the rollout. This is part of the deception that they're using to get people on board, or not even on board, not willingly on board. And of course, you saw like the video clip I showed you with the smart cities. The goal is to have that, the smart cities, the smart suburbia, all of it, right? Where everyone is connected to technology, and they're thinking in their heads like, oh, I'm connected to technology because I have the newest iPhone.
Your real name is Baja. What am I talking about, Hannah? True.
Phone, 5G. No, your body, you are going to be connected to the technology. And that's the scary part, but these zombies don't believe it yet. But they don't even realize that most of them are already hooked up to it. And that's the scariest part of all. So keep an eye on this stuff. Obviously, I'll be reporting on the 5G rollout as well as a lot of the other stuff that's going on in the world. I hope everyone out there is doing well. Please consider joining the website at callfornuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. It is troll-free. It is advertising-free.
Troll-free. As someone who has seen his website, it's the only place on the internet I've seen where everyone acts like an awful troll person. Maybe it's like Syndrome from The Incredibles. If everyone's a troll, no one is. Tucker White with 100 bits says, one of these days, you're gonna Freudian slip Baja's name on stream and I'll laugh hysterically. Also, what's Call screeching about now? 5G.
It's just a great place for people to interact, share their channels. If you're a new YouTuber or someone who wants to create a
Jake's streaming a raid for Jake. Yeah, we'll probably raid Jake whenever we're done.
Channel, you could share your channel there to get people on board to follow, and obviously you could just interact with people. You can.
The Carpcosian says, I think I've decided I want to transition into being a woman. Got any tips? That's a big question. If that is something you've decided, congratulations for yourself that you've, figured out something about yourself. I don't know if I could succinctly sum anything up other than understand it's a slow process and you're not necessarily going to be happy every step of the way just because it's tough. It is. But it's always worth it. At least in my experience, it is worth it. And when you do see those incremental improvements that you make over time, it feels really good, You'll feel great about that decision, I think, if this is really something you want to do. Other than that, no specific tips, just because I couldn't tell you. But we have a great community here and on the Discord, and I'm sure, we have a lot of trans people in our community that could probably better help. There are also tons of resources online. There's nothing I could say right now that would be like a blanket thing.
Share article.
Am I sure I don't want you to turn on the oven and put something in? Nah, I'll just make something more quickly or make some mac and cheese or something. I'm really hungry, so.
You could share stuff that you've written. You could share thoughts and ideas that you have. Everybody's pretty responded to one another. You're not going to really. It's pretty rare if somebody posts something that someone doesn't respond to. There's a lot of feedback. There's a lot of interaction. There's a lot of support. Everyone's supporting each other, and of course, there's things about people who have lost their jobs over the potion. Being able to network and find new jobs, communities, people who want to start communities, form communities.
That is good, yes. Hair removal started. If you would like to do that, get it started as soon as possible. It is a long process, so recommend.
Talk about homesteading, living off the land, so much stuff over there. So check it out if you haven't. It's well worth it. And of course, you could always join. If you don't like it, you can unsub, but it's definitely worth checking out. I think everyone out there would really like it. And appreciate the stuff that's being shared over there. So check it out if you haven't. I want to thank the Patreons because you keep me on YouTube, and I want to thank all of you for your support. I appreciate all of you greatly. Hope you're doing well. God bless you and your families.
So Call's still paranoid about both streetlights and cell phone
If you've
signals.
ever had this feeling,
Very reasonable. Oh no. He's talking about McDonald's.
In your cell at home, and it continues to be an uncomfortable life. Because that's what they told us they were going to do. Remember, I did videos on it? They said we need to make a community of clueless people who are all for all these new rules, restrictions, and guidelines because they're so dumb that they think that everything they hear on the TV is actually going on. And then little by little, you can't eat at McDonald's, you can't go to CVS and get your, your blood pressure medicine or whatever you might have. You can't go there and get Tylenol for, a pain.
Order it online. They'll bring it out to you in most places, or get vaccinated, and then you won't have that problem. They're private businesses. They can choose to associate with anyone they want, and they have the right to refuse service if you think you're a danger to other customers. Hydrate.
In your whatever. Just hypothetically speaking here. You can't go there, you can't go here, you can't go there. Next thing is, well, you can only do it online. And then eventually they go, no, you can't do it online. And you can't have heat, and we could do this to you as you're in your cell at home. And it continues to be an uncomfortable life. Because that's what they told us they were going to do. Remember, I did videos on it? They said we need...
Oh, Call's having a normal one. Bittergrin says, or drive-through pharmacies, true. D with Goblin says, okay, I need to head off and get some work done. Thank you for the excellent stream. As a cleanse, may I humbly offer my Void Cat. Very cute. Seriously, though, Call is out of his mind. So I wish he would stop. Enough of him. Moving on. Tucker White says, tips for turning into a dame. Number 1, separate the double bed into 2 single beds. 2, get in the kitchen. And oh, wait, did I grab the 1950s guide to women's? Why wouldn't you be able to do it online? The problem is you are understanding that the wanting people to be vaccinated to be around other people is a practicality, whereas Call views it as a strictly authoritarian thing they are doing to be mean to him. He does not see the actual practical reason for it, because he is stupid.
I've taken a short video of the moon tonight in the sky here in Salem, Indiana. And, if you try to get a picture of the moon with just your cell phone, it's so bright, it looks like a great big light bulb. And when I wanted to zoom up on the moon with the camera, this Nikon camera with the clouds, I couldn't get a clear image. I think it doesn't want me to zoom up on the clouds at night with such a bright moon. But it's okay, it is, and this video you're getting ready to see right here is the same video slowed down with a enhancement. Now granted, it's not as super clear, but you know what really gets me is the dark areas. Not just the smooth dark areas, but the other dark areas that seem to have like some kind of how can I put it? Like some kind of a plasma like fog or air cloud on top of them is what it reminds me of. It reminds me somewhat of a dark plasma on this moon.
Is she talking about the craters? Is she talking about the fact that some recessed areas of the moon are darker than other areas?
In certain areas, because of the way it looks so blotched. It really would if it was clouds. If you could picture clouds in the sky.
They're not clouds. They don't move. That's just literally the topography of the moon.
That are dark like this, like storm clouds, real bad storm clouds. That's what the dark areas remind me of. So I'm just going to put a little more pictures, not screenshots, pictures that I actually took for you to look at. I do sometimes wonder about the moon. If the color of the moon, it can be changed like we can change it with different filters. But this right here is the original.
M. Scheffler says, oh shit, Logic covers this lady all the time. She thinks birds are fake and simultaneously alien spaceships.
Color when I took the picture, and this has a tad bit of contrast added to it. This is what the moon looked like in the sky that I tried to zoom up on the clouds and I couldn't. And then again, I'm just going to leave you with
That was a
this,
picture of the sun! That was a picture of the sun! Wait, did she confuse the moon for the sun? Oh god. Gagebird says, say what you want about this lady. She lives in a far more interesting world than we do. Can't disagree with that.
Video footage right here. It's like a minute long of the moon in the sky tonight. The sky is pretty much clear right now, aside from these clouds that literally, they like kind of disappeared.
roll that back to the sun. This part. She's talking about the moon. That's the sun, Gina. They're different.
I hope you have a very wonderful rest of your evening. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you.
Thanks, Gina. Appreciate your moon take. Sky Comet Fallen with 50 bits says, wow, we're reaching new levels of stupid today. My anti-stupidity amulet's gonna break. Tucker White with 100 bits says, alright class, quick crash course time. Cameras work by absorbing light. For something like the moon, which is small for its distance relative to Earth, you need a thick lens. I have a good camera, but even on a full moon night, I can't get a clear shot without a telephoto lens. I'm Tucker White. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Do we have any other short ones I wanted to get through, or was that it? I think that's probably good for... Oh, wait, how long is this video?
Tell her that's all I am.
That's 20 minutes. I don't want to do a whole thing. All right. We'll go ahead and raid probably Jake. Someone said he was live, I think. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. I will be streaming tomorrow. There is no Charisma Saves tonight. Or tomorrow. Well, not tonight either. But not tomorrow because even though my COVID test was negative, just in case, we're taking another week to make sure if I did come in contact that we're not getting anyone else sick. I'm taking it seriously. So, yeah, I'm raiding the corn. So have a good night, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow either with Chud Watch or we'll do Mega Wealth stuff because we didn't Monday. I think someone sent me a link that Niall Niami might have done some more stuff. So we're probably going to cover that. And I have a bunch of other videos for us to watch for that too. So come hang out. It'll be a lot of fun. And I appreciate all of you. Thanks for coming to this very strange stream. Chat was weird today. And yeah, I'll be back for the rest of the week. I'm going to go work on uploading stuff to YouTube. Have a good night. Follow, subscribe over on youtube.com/HannahReloaded. That's the end of the stream. Bye.